Well, a very good evening to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to the nation's capital. Welcome to a very, very special night here at MIT Ballpark in Canberra for Game 2 in Week 9 of the Australian Baseball League season between the Canberra Cavalry and the Auckland Tuatara. Chris Coleman is my name. Alongside me, Warwick Petherbridge was. Good evening to you.
Good evening, Chris. Don't we look fabulous?
Mate, look at these. How good looking are these jerseys? And the Canberra Cavalry tonight bringing you the Australian Baseball League's first Pride game, and a tremendous initiative. The caps that you'll see of the players wearing later on tonight look absolutely fantastic as well. The weather has cooperated. It's a lovely cool evening here in Canberra, given some of the amazing heat we've had in recent times here. This is very much welcome in relief, but it's great to be here for Pride Night tonight. We'll meet the sponsor of Pride Night, Tom Hathaway from Hathaway's Real Estate, a bit later on. But let's have a look at who is involved in tonight's game, because we are not far off getting started with Phil Pfeiffer on the mound for the Canberra Cavalry.
We're going around the Cavalry first then, all right?
We may as well do that, yeah, why not?
Pfeiffer to Chucky Robinson. You've got Zach Wilson at first, Cam Warner at second. I believe that's Kelvin Malian at short. And then Kyle Perkins, Mr. Fix-It, he's been everywhere this year. And he's at third base. His brother Robbie is in left field. Robbie Podolski is the centre fielder, the hero from last night. And Tucker Nathan's the other Mr. Fix-It of this side. He's out in right field. Well,
let's get down to the field now and have a look at what's going on this Friday night baseball game. And it is Yoni Hernandez to lead off for the Auckland Tuatara. He'll be followed by Johnny Homza, Jared Walker, Kim Won-Seok, Andrew Mark, Daniel Lamb-Hunt, Baz Noy, Kent Blackstone, and Max Brown to round things out. As mentioned previously, Phil Pfeiffer, the man on the mound for the Canberra Cavalry, getting things underway. There he is there. And as you can see, the rainbow-coloured number 18 on the back of his jersey. And we are into action with already 2 pitches thrown, 1 ball and 1 strike, the count for the start of this game here. And Yoni Hernandez, who last night had a mixed bag. A couple of fly balls to centre field and out at centre field, and a walk from his 4 plate appearances last night.
Hernandez fouls one back to the screen, count as 1 and 2. Pfeiffer, who has emerged as the ace of this staff this season, 2.18 ERA. Fastball, slider, curve. That's his arsenal that he goes to. Here's the 1 and 2, fouled back again.
Had a couple of people say to me that they reckon that Pfeiffer is Major League Baseball bound. Was?
I would not doubt that for 1 second, Chris.
We've mentioned it previously. He did join or get listed to the 40-man roster by the Atlanta Braves just prior to this Australian Baseball League season starting. So 1 and 2, the count remains on Hernandez, and there's the big punch out.
And there it is, expecting a breaking pitch again, maybe something off speed. Fastball at the knees on the outside. 1 in the books. Of course, the Cavalry chasing the Tuatara in this division. And what a story they've been this year, Chris.
It's fabulous.
Second year in the league, leading the division by 4 games. Basically, the edict is simple for the Cavalry this weekend. Must follow the advice of the late Oakland Raiders owner, Al Davis. Just win, baby. Just win. Johnny Homza steps in. And that one misses for ball 1. As Chris mentioned, wonderful conditions for baseball. The wind blowing from right to left. Homza along the ground, and that's between short and third, and the base hit out to the left fielder, Robbie Perkins. And with 1 out, the Tuatara have a runner on. So Jared Walker, he's the man up now. Homza the runner at first. On Pride Night here in the nation's capital. Here's the first pitch. He is under that, and that is foul. First Pride game in Australian baseball, supporting the LGBTQI community.
I tell you what, going by the way the The caps and the jerseys, the replica jerseys and the T-shirts have been flying out on order as the next pitch is lowered inside. They've been flying off the shelves. I suspect it won't be the last, and I suspect we won't be the only club doing one next year.
Brilliant initiative. 1-1 is the count on Walker. Homser is the man at first base. Pfeiffer delivers. He has lined that. That looks like it's going to be trouble. That drops into right field for a base hit. Nathans comes up, but nothing doing, and now all of a sudden, Pfeiffer, after getting the strikeout, has got 2 hitters aboard. Don't think he got everything he wanted under that one, Walker, but that was enough to just get it to drop safely in front of Tucker Nathans, as we know has excellent speed.
There's plenty of it out there in the outfield as well for the Cavalry.
Well, I've got a question for you in a minute. As Won Seok Kim, or Kiwi Kim as I've been told as he likes to be known, he steps in.
Or you can just go Kim if you prefer.
Pfeiffer checks the runners. And that is in there for a called strike 1. That slider, that high slider that Pfeiffer throws. One out here in the top of the first, but the Tuatara threatening. Runners at first and second, and here's the pitch from Pfeiffer. And that is low. At the start of the season, Chris, Canberra had listed Perkins, and Robinson as their 3 catches. We are now in round 9, and they are all doing that well that they're all on the field together on the left side.
Great position to be in.
1-1 is the count. Here's the pitch. And that is a called strike 2.
Homser gives himself a good lead there at second. You're seeing it on that centre field shot.
Pfeiffer set. 1-2 is the count on Kim. Checks the runners. And he has swung foul, tipped that into the glove. Well taken by Robinson. And we are 2 away. Andrew Mark, the right fielder. Of course. We'll try out throughout the course of the night to keep you updated as what's going on up in Brisbane. It's crucial in our division.
Massive importance for both these sides.
So 2 out. Mark is in. And that's outside from Pfeiffer for ball 1. Ben Nash is the man behind the plate tonight. Riley Barrington at first. Connor Casey at third. Here's the pitch from Pfeiffer. Mark has gotten underneath this and he has hit it a mile. It's come off the wall in left field. The first runner will score. Perkins picks it up and comes up throwing. And Walker is held at third, so that is an RBI double for Mark. And the Tuatara have an early run. So Homser scores from second. Walker around to third. The DH, Daniel Lamb Hunt. Off the end of his bat to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer picks it up and underarms it to Zach Wilson. And that gets them out of the inning, but not before the Tuatara score a run. They lead 1-0 after the top half of the first here on Cavalry Live.
Yes, that an omen was. Last night it was the Cavalry who scored in the first inning and went on to win the game. And I wonder whether it'll be the Tuatara to go on to win the game and continue that trend here in the nation's capital. Let's have a look at the Auckland Tuatara batting lineup. Sorry, the Canberra Cavalry batting lineup, I should say. We've had the Tuatara. Let's go the other way to the Canberra Cavalry starting lineup. And it'll be Robbie Podolski to lead off, Cam Warner to be followed by Tucker Nathans, Zach Wilson, David Candelas, Chucky Robinson, Robbie Perkins, Kyle Perkins, and then Kelvin Melian bringing up the tail of the order.
And for the Tuatara, it will be Jimmy Boyce. He's the man on the mound. He's throwing to Basnoy. Then on Jared Walker is the first baseman. Second is Kent Blackstone. Third is Johnny Homza, the run scorer. Yoni Hernandez is his shortstop. Won Seok Kim is in left field. The centre fielder is Max Brown. And Andrew Mark, he will play in right field tonight for the Tuatara. And what they've got to do.
And all the way over here in the Canberra Cavalry jersey. Great spot to see it from too. What is your name?
Well, Jimmy Boyce on the mound there for the Tuatara.
What's he like? You were over there earlier this year. What did you see?
Largely pitches to contact. Not going to get a lot of strikeouts, but will pitch to contact. Still hard to get away. Very hard man to get away off the mound there. Give you some numbers for him in just a moment. Has a 3-1 win-loss record. ERA is 6.32. And across the 31.1 innings that he's pitched so far, just the 24 strikeouts. And 15 walks. If he gets behind in the count, players do tend to go after him. And really, you'll see fastball, changeup, and curveball from him. So that's our scouting report.
Podolski walking to the batter's box. He has been a late arrival since Christmas. What do we know about him, Chris? Do you know anything?
He's the man I was told is about the fastest prospect in the Padres system.
Right.
And we saw it last night. He was running down catches that he had no right to get. There was one that he went a good 30, 35 metres to get to in centre field. But right now it is Boyce versus Podolski.
Ball one.
Just a little outside, to coin a phrase.
Bob Uecker. Here's Boyce. Podolski swings and misses. Evens the count at 1-1. No. The light's starting to take over here at MIT Ballpark on a very cloudy night. Here's the 1-1. Fouled it back with the high fastball. One and two. Boyce delivers. And Podolski lines that straight to the third baseman. And what a great catch.
The magnet was in, wasn't it?
But, Johnny Homza. Low into his glove side, but still. Cam Warner. And what a year he's having. Batting around 320. I think a good-looking commentator called that. Here's the first pitch. I'm not going to let you live it down all season. As Warner fouls back the first one. He's another one that you could argue. I mean, literally, we've had players batting in multiple spots. Cam started the year batting in the 9 spot. Now, at the moment, is firmly entrenched in those top 2 hitters for Keith Waters. Here's the 0-1. Swings through and misses. I think the Canberra Cavalry up to their 17th third baseman this season. Maybe on Sunday they might give you a goal, CC.
I don't think I played very much at third base for very good reason. Cam Warner, batting average of 313. 9th highest batting average in the Canberra Cavalry organisation this season. Nice number.
Unbelievable.
And it really, the only player you could filter out of that in terms of qualifying appearances is Podolski, who's in just his 4th game for the Cavs, or has played just 4 games for the Cavs for a 333. Warner drills this up the middle, and there we go. The 313 will go up to about 317 after that, as he takes an easy single to centre field. Brown's got it on the carpet, but easy as you like. Cam Warner gets on base.
And that's why he's been promoted to this top third of the lineup. Tucker Nathans. He batting 300.
A mere 300.
But this man is an excitement machine when he steps in the box.
My big call for tonight, by the way, is David Candelas. Huge night coming up tonight. Huge night coming up tonight.
Is that really a big call?
He's due.
He's batting 329, mate. I think he's had a few big nights. Here's the first pitch to Nathans. Nathans gets under this. This has gone back to right, sorry, but no. I think he got a little bit more up than out.
And he also caught a bit of the wind.
As, yeah, the left-hander hitting into the wind. Andrew Mark puts it away. The wind is blowing quite strongly from the right field corner across to the left field corner. And this will favour this man. Zach Wilson, before Christmas, something happened. Something changed. Now he's batting 361 with 6 home runs and 21 RBIs. And he takes ball 1. He is tied for equal first in home runs with Kyle Perkins. Leads the RBI count by a few.
He has 18 home runs for the Cavalry across 2 seasons. He's in the top 5 all time in terms of home runs for the Cavalry over 10 years of baseball, and he's done it in just 2 seasons.
Yeah. 2-0 the count. Warner is the runner at first. Oh, he liked that one. The eyes lit up. But the stick didn't make it. 2-1. Boyce checks Warner. Right off the end of the bat for Wilson. That's an easy play. On the 6-4 as Yoni Hernandez throws it over to Kent Blackstone for the 3rd out. And the Cavalry are retired. They got a runner aboard but couldn't do anything with it. Auckland leads this game 1-0 after 1 inning here on Cavalry Live.
If you're about to make university decisions, make sure you stand out from the crowd. UC is ACT's #1 uni for graduate employment and starting salaries. UC has work placements in every degree. UC is designed specifically for Canberra and the region. Run your own race at the University of Canberra. Apply now, get UC qualified and run circles around the rest.
This is how we gonna do it.
If you're about to make university decisions, make sure you stand out from the crowd. UC is ACT's #1 uni for graduate employment and starting salaries. UC has work placements in every degree. UC is designed specifically for Canberra and the region. Run your own race at the University of Canberra. Apply now, get UC qualified and run circles around the rest.
We head into the second. The visiting Auckland Tuatara leading 1-0. And it is Baz Noy in the batter's box. Haven't seen a lot of Noy in recent times, but he is a relatively speaking experienced man in the Australian League. Played in 3 series, I think, so far for the Tuatara this year. Played for Adelaide back in 16 and 17. Registered his 50th game just a couple of weeks ago. Career average of 228. 1-2 the count on him. As Pfeiffer has got a head in the count. And Pfeiffer works up the top shelf of the kitchen there, but he takes care of it. And Noy strikes out. Followed up by Kent Blackstone and then downtown Max Brown.
Downtown Max Brown.
That's what they call him in Auckland.
Where are we, Chris?
Yeah, and I'm being nice.
I know.
I'm being nice. I'm the nice one, remember?
Oh, okay, and I'm the mean one.
You,
Blackstone.
You did try to say you were the good-looking one earlier.
Oh, look, facts are facts, my friend.
Yes, Mr. Trump.
Fake news. Here's the 1-0. That's high and inside. I'll tell you what, I'm going to tell you when to talk by just pushing something and a buzzer will go off. 1-1. Here's the count. Blackstone swings through. And all of a sudden, he's in the 1-2 hole.
Pfeiffer just ringing up strikeout after strikeout across the course of this season.
Here's the 1-2. And that's missed low. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
We actually missed the milestone. I had it noted to mention we missed the milestone. He's registered 50 strikeouts for this season so far. And that was the very first batter tonight, Yoni Hernandez. That was number 50, so he's now got 52. So that's 52 strikeouts in 42.2 innings pitched.
I tell you what.
If you're doing better than 1 strikeout per inning, you're doing quite nicely. And when you're 20% above that, you're doing extraordinarily well.
There's a reason why he's on the 40-man roster for the Atlanta Braves. I think we're seeing it. 2-2 is the count. Here's the pitch. Oh. Doesn't get the call he wants from Ben Nash. Count is full. First batter for the Tuatara here in the top of the second. Payoff pitch. Foul. It'd be interesting to see who holds the single season record.
For strikeouts?
And how close he is.
Give me
2
minutes.
I think I have a name in mind. 3-2. Here's the payoff again. And he lines that into right field. And now the Tuatara. Not all time, because that'd be Brian Grenning easily, because he was only just passed for the ABL record.
You're talking about for the Cavalry across the course of the season?
Single season record.
Ah, okay. I might need a moment longer.
That's all right. I have a name in mind. Many great pitches in the 10 years here in the capital. Blackstone is the runner at first for the Tuatara. Brown is in, and he fouls that back. And the kids are all chasing for a souvenir. Large crowd still making its way in here to MIT Ballpark, here in the nation's capital. Pride night, which is why you're seeing the Cavalry players wearing those special jerseys and hats. Here's the pitch from Pfeiffer, as Brown couldn't hold up. Got about halfway through and realised that wasn't where I wanted to be. And he's down 0-2. Here's the pitch. And that has missed by a millimetre. Single season record.
Single season records for the Canberra Cavalry. Strikeouts. 2015, Brian Grenning, 83. 2015, Stephen Kent, 79. Kent robbed of a chance to pass Grenning due to a rain out late in the season.
Runner goes. Here comes the throw from Robinson. It's low. Safe is the call at second. Robinson bobbled the ball. Still got off a great throw. In perfect position for Warner. Blackstone beat it. Count is 2-2 on Max Brown.
Third place, Brian Grenning, 2013, 70. Fourth place, Brian Grenning in 2012 with 64.
There's one name missing off that list.
You can come back to it in a moment.
Okay. 2-2. Blackstone now at second for the Tuatara. And Brown fouls one right into the dugout.
Fifth place would be an interesting one to see if anyone can actually remember. You're going back a long way. 63 strikeouts in the 2011 season. Mike Maguire. It's not Mark Maguire. Mike Maguire.
What are you doing?
Okay, and you see M. Maguire on there, and what does your brain do?
2-2. Here's the pitch from Pfeiffer. And that is high. And all of a sudden, Max Brown, after being down 0-2, has worked his way to a full count. Blackstone was the same. He was down 1-2 and got a full count.
So what I want to know is, which name are you looking for?
And he swings through and misses. Strike out. Well, I'll give you a clue. He's about yay high. And he's a lefty. And he only played about 8 weeks here, but it was some of the most dominant pitching that we've ever seen at MIT Ballpark.
Well, yeah, actually, where is Imanaga on that list?
I didn't think he'd be on the top. I figured it would have been either Grinning or Kent. I thought Big Frank Gailey had a chance in 2018. I just remember K after K in that book for him.
Well, Imanaga only played...
But I think he had one game where he had 10, one game where he had 15. 2 out. As we're back to the top of the order, Hernandez, he struck out looking in the first.
Well, that is interesting. Imanaga doesn't actually turn up on the stats database.
There we go.
So
1-0.
At this point, I give up on that.
Okay, you just give up. You keep going. Blackstone leads away from second for the Tuatara. 1-0 pitch to come. And that curve is in there. Evens the count at 1-1. And that's in there as well.
57 strikeouts, 35 innings pitched.
There you go.
In 6 games.
So he should have been somewhere on that list.
Well, he'd be a bit further down than I was looking.
Oh.
Well, I only got down to 61.
Anyway. 1-2, 2 out, top of the second. Blackstone the runner at second for the Tuatara. Here's the pitch. Foul. We'll do it again.
Either way, back to the point at hand. The point at hand is we're seeing a sterling performance here from Phil Pfeiffer. Yet another sterling performance from him with 4 strikeouts tonight from 5 outs.
Former teammate of Steve Kent. The Gwinnett Strikers. The Gwinnett Stripers, AAA affiliate of the Atlanta Braves. 1-2. Checks Blackstone. Here's the pitch. He's up and under that. Kyle Perkins is tracking around from third, and he takes the catch to retire the side. The Tuatara get another runner on, but luckily for the Cavalry, nothing happens with it. It is still 1-0 in favour of Auckland halfway through the second here on Cavalry Live.
Hurry up with that thing.
Have you tried the grey cake?
Yeah, I've tried it all. So who are you backing in this game?
With their three-point shooting.
Guys, relax. I got this.
Don't want to miss a second of the action this season? With Tabs Basketball Live Vision, you can stream games and access exclusive previews for free, anytime, anywhere.
Whoa, don't splash the box.
Yeah, don't splash the bar.
Who are you backing this NBA season? Tab. Download the app today.
Back here on Cavalry Live for the bottom half of the second inning here on Pride Night in the nation's capital. Auckland with an early 1-0 lead. But we will see here in the bottom half of the second. David Candelas, Chucky Robinson and Robbie Perkins. They will be the first 3 up for the Canberra Cavalry.
While we wait for the Candyman to come out to bat, the Perth Heat, well, they've laid on 6 in the top of the second against Geelong Korea, continuing what is looking like a very long weekend for the GK side. They lead 6-0 that game now into the top of the third. Down in Melbourne, you've got Adelaide playing the Melbourne Aces. The Aces took a 2-0 lead after 1. Adelaide have pulled one back in the top of the second. And the game that has the most impact on both of these sides potentially, Sydney hosting Brisbane. Well, Sydney scored 2 in the top of the first. Brisbane have scored 2 in the bottom of the first. And I don't know whether the forecast for Brisbane has been updated, but there was certainly plenty of rain on the forecast for Brisbane, so it could be a very long weekend for them up there waiting for baseball between showers.
Here's the first pitch from Boyce. That's outside to Candless. Candless batting .329. Another outstanding season being put together behind the plate at the batter's box from Candless. That one's inside for a called strike. What is it? So right now, Kyle Perkins holds the Cavalry home run record at 24, but there's a field chasing him.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that a wee bit later on this evening because there's plenty of them.
I think this man is one of them. His brother is one of them.
This man's got 20, I can give you that from memory.
Here's the 2-1. Candless gets under that. He's got all of it. Heading back is the left fielder and gone. David Candless, 21.
I asked him before the game, I said, Candy, what chances of a home run? Let's stay with him here as he goes around the bases. We used to get away from Boss Moanaroa when he did this. And that all started because I asked him for one, and he gave us one. And David Candless, you legend, you champion, you tied the game.
Right into the detailing lot.
Yeah. Ask and you shall receive.
This game is now tied at 1.
There we go, from the Canberra Cavalry General Manager. A text message comes in. I called it before the game. Done. Thank you very much. My work's done. Was you're on your own. I'm going to go off to the bar.
Robinson's in. And he's low and outside. Well, I wonder, might have to talk to Dan. If you're the all-time home run record holder, maybe you should have to wear an orange helmet. Just with the chase that's happening, like you know, different people. Here's the 1-0, Robinson. He's hit one deep as well. That's going back to left. Back-to-back home runs, Cavalry. They now lead this game 2-1. And all of a sudden, the detailing lot is getting a workout in left field.
This is rapidly becoming a joint venture. It used to be the David Candless detailing lot. Then it became the Wilson Candless detailing lot.
The Wilson Candless brothers.
The Wilson Candless Robinson detailing lot has a mighty, mighty fine sound to it. Back-to-back jacks here from the Cavs and a Friday night lead.
And I tell you what, Robbie Perkins, he's batting the .330 as well.
338.
As he takes called strike 1. And Boyce has got to be rattled. Here's the Perkins swings through. Boyce trying to probably hurry things up a little bit. He seems to be trying to get into and establish a ribbon. Here's the 0-2. High and outside for ball 1. So Candless.
21 for a career now.
Oh, here we go. Here's the 1-2 to Perkins. He fouls it back to see another one.
Robbie Perkins not renowned as a home run hitter in recent years. Just 1 this year, 3 last year. 4 in 2017, 5 his best for a season. That was in 2016.
But that OBP, Chris, is near 400. Here's the 1-2. And that's low. And that's the number that Keith Ward would be most impressed with this year. 2-2. Here's the pitch. And that is a 1-hopper. And the count is full. If you're just joining us, Auckland took the lead in the top of the first. And Johnny Holmesman across the plate on the RBI double. But now back-to-back home runs to Candless and Robinson put Canberra in front. Full count. Perkins has got underneath this one. Blackstone has called off walk and he puts it away. And the Cavalry, 1 down. Kyle Perkins. He is the man with the, can we say the orange helmet?
You can.
He is the all-time leader.
Are you allowed to do that? Are you allowed to wear a different colour helmet in baseball from everyone else?
No.
Yeah. We need to petition the ABL for that, I think. There you go. There's your Cavalry all-time home run leaders.
So
Perkins 24, Candless 21.
He's now in outright second. And how many years has David Candless been in Canberra as Kyle Perkins takes ball 1? Here we go.
You should have been paying attention last night, my friend. We talked about how long he'd been here after coming up from Sydney.
And that is a base hit into left field.
Candy's had, this is his 4th season here in Canberra after 5 seasons in Sydney. Didn't play in the 2013 ABL season.
12 home runs in 2017. That was the standout. And that's where he got the detailing lot from, because that was my first season here in Canberra joining you, Chris. And everything he did. Melian, the shortstop, he's up. Fouls it back. This is his 2nd trip to Canberra. He was here a couple of years ago. Another one of the prospects from the San Diego Padres organisation. He, I believe, was here when Gabriel Arias was here. 0-1 is the count. Here's the pitch. He's got underneath that, heading out towards centre field. That is taken, and Kyle Perkins will retreat back to first. Max Brown with the easy job out there. So we are back. We are back to the top of the lineup. Robbie Podolski. He steps in. So 2 out, bottom of the 2nd. Cavalry now lead this game 2-1. Kyle Perkins is the runner at first. Here's the pitch. He bunts down the first base line. Podolski. There is no one covering first, and he is going to get there. Walker has come in. Blackstone was in no man's land, and Boyce tried to pick up the ball, bobbled the ball on the ground, but realised Podolski was already past him, and there was no one covering the bag. So now, on a bunt.
And you'd have to say not the greatest of bunts, was it?
No, Chris Coleman, that is a perfect bunt. He has literally drawn the first baseman in and the pitcher off. No one's covering the bag, and he's got his leg speed to get there. Now, if it was someone like you or I, no, not the perfect bunt. But when you've got speed to burn...
Well, that's a valid point. For Robbie Podolski, it's about the perfect bunt. For 9/10 of us who don't go at 3/4 of the speed of light, yeah, not so good.
That's right, the Flash. Robbie the Flash Podolski. 2 out, here's Cam Warner. And the curve misses. And Boyce would love anything just to get out of this inning. This is the 7th hitter of the inning, which started with back-to-back home runs. Cavalry with 2 on, 2 out here in the bottom of the 2nd. Cam Warner, he's ready. Here's the pitch from Boyce. Swings through and chases the breaking pitch for strike 1. Yeah. I'll give you that point, Chris. For 99.99% of the world, that is not a smart play. For a guy with speed like that, that's the perfect play. Because Perkins broke. He was going. Here's the 1-1. Cam Warner pops that up. Behind first base. Blackstone, the second baseman, is there. He takes the catch to retire the side, but Canberra Strand 2 score 2. They lead 2-1 after 2 here at MIT Ballpark here on Cavalry Live.
Behind these doors, people are home. Resting, settling in, laughing. These are more than just hotel rooms. They are spaces for living. It's a home away from home, your own abode. Behind these doors, people are home. Resting, settling in, laughing. These are more than just hotel rooms. They are spaces for living. It's a home away from home, your own abode.
Back here at the top of the third at MIT Ballpark. Warwick Pethiebridge, Chris Coleman with you on Cavalry Live.
There's a borderline offensive game of musical chairs going on down there at ground level. I don't think we need to show it. But just trust me when I say that the winner wound up receiving the prize for landing on a chair that was upside down.
Well, let's just say they are ground announcer Matt Percy's workmates who are having their work Christmas party here tonight while Matt has to work.
It's January.
It's all right.
I'm just putting that up there that for the record, it is January.
That's all right. Some people have it in November. Some people have it in January. Tomato, tomato. Pfeiffer back on the mound. Homza. He was the man who scored for the Tuatara in the first. He had a base hit to left field. Here's the pitch. And that is outside. One and 0. Such a critical series. The Cavalry winning last night. The Tuatara would love to try and split this series as that is ball 2. Because I believe if they split and they can win 2 games, they may have the division wrapped up.
They need one more. They need at the moment, as things stand, they need 3 wins.
As that is out to right field, Nathans is heading back and he takes the catch. And we are 1 away.
But it's not quite as simple as just 3 wins at the moment. 3 wins, but they have to get 1 of those wins this week. Or 2 of those wins this week and 1 next week. But to win 3 this week, they still don't wrap things up.
No. And then, of course, next week the Cavalry travel to Sydney, which means the Tuatara, I believe, are hosting at home against the Bandits. Round 9. And not only are their playoff spots up for grabs, the division winning lead is still up for grabs. That is inside on Jared Walker. Walker singled in the first. 1-0. You're going to crunch some numbers now. I like it.
No, I'm looking for another particular stat that I don't think I'm going to be able to generate. Because
that's all right.
Yeah.
Well, here's the 1-0 to Walker. He misses that one.
We've considerably reconfigured the broadcast booth here in the past 24 hours. Well, when I say we, the royal we, as in I came in about 3 hours before the game and said, what the hell's happened in here? As Tim and Cody had put in the hardest day's night since the Beatles. But it means I've got room for the supercomputer on the desk now, which is fantastic.
The 1-1 misses. 2 balls and 1 strike on Jared Walker. A fantastic effort by those boys here today. They were here at 11 a.m. this morning, getting everything ready. 8 hours before first pitch for us. Here's the 2-1. And the curve is in there. 2-2. Here on Pride Night at MIT Ballpark in support of the LGBTQI community. 2-2, the count on Walker. Here's the pitch. He slaps that towards left field. Robbie Perkins is out there. So we've had 1 to right and 1 to left, both put away quite comfortably.
Stand by in centre field, Podorski.
You know what? They probably had a meeting after last night and said, be early on it. Well, both times they've been late on it, both because the left-handed Walker, the right-handed Homza. Just be late on it. Just try and put it down the line and see what the corner guys can do. Here we go.
Just a quick mention that the Tuatara doing without one of their very important people this series, Pandy, their EO. Tough time at the moment, Pandy.
Kim hits that straight to and that retires the side. But Chris, continue.
Pandy, I was talking to a couple of the crew from the Tuatara prior to the game, and they just wanted to let you know that they are thinking of you, and they know that the last couple of days haven't been great, and they're looking forward to being back home and providing you with some support and some friendship down the track. So all the best, and our thoughts here are with you as well through some pretty tough times. So hang in there, and hope things do pick up for you. You're watching Cavalry Live. We're in the middle of the third. It is 2-1 to Canberra.
Murray. Have you decided on a name?
We're thinking Callum.
This is Callum Murray.
Callum Murray to the seafood aisle.
Callum Murray. Why'd they name you that?
I take you.
Callum Murray.
Let's make it Jack.
Drink it through with Dare Iced Coffee.
Friday night in Canberra. A cool Friday night. The Canberra Cavalry bats, well, I think it's fair to say, have been hot. Specifically, the bats of David Candelas and Chucky Robinson. But there's plenty of the cavalrymen who are looking to join in.
This man being one of them, Tucker Nathans.
Came in tonight with an average of exactly 300. Has gone long on multiple occasions. Did it against the Tuatara earlier this season. He'll be looking to get a matching pair on either side of the ditch.
Fast ball on the inside for a called strike one from home plate umpire Ben Nash.
Has 5 home runs. Places him in a 4-way tie, I think, for third in the Canberra Cavalry home run chase for the season.
Oh, and 2 is the count on Tucker Nathans. Boyce ready. That is outside, and Nathans does not chase. Of course, a few changes in this cavalry lineup since they were last here a month ago. Geordie Barley and Taylor Colway back home as Nathan swings through and misses on the inside for strike 3. Taylor Colway leads the team even though he's no longer here with an OBP of 434.
So we can't pull them down.
I'll just let Chris do what he's doing. Here's the pitch to Wilson. It's high and inside.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, no, I was just letting you do the technical stuff in case people were wondering if they thought you'd gone like a crazy cat lady. 1-0.
Entirely possible.
Here's the pitch from Boyce. Wilson has got under this. Here we go. Join the party, son. That one is gone as well. I tell you what, Cole Perkins better like hanging on to that record because it might go tonight.
Well, we did call it the detailing lot, didn't we?
For some reason, all I just have in my head, Chris, is anything you can do, I can do better.
Oh, yeah, the challenge is on.
Because look who's next. David Candelas.
So Zach Wilson now, his 7th home run for the season. Candelas now has 3. Carl Perkins has 7. Has 6. He's lost the lead for the season now. It's all on for young and old tonight.
Boyce with the first pitch to Candelas. Candelas, of course, as he swings through for strike 1. Led off the second with the first of the 3 cavalry solo shots tonight. Here's the pitch. Candelas, foul. Down 0-2. Candelas along the ground. Homza charges from third. Here he comes over to Walker. And that retires Candelas. Great play there by Johnny Homza. Textbook. Glove forward in front of the body. Came up throwing. We are now 2 out. Chucky Robinson. As the curve misses. Robinson, of course, one of the Bash brothers already tonight. Here's the 1-0. He checked it, but it was there. Count is even at 1-1. Robinson, of course, from the Houston Astros organization. One and one. Robinson fouls that back right field, right side. Count is 1-2. Very shortly, we will be joined by a special guest here on Cavalry Live. 1-2 is the count on Robinson. 2 out here in the bottom of the third. Canberra already extending their lead. Here's the pitch. Off the near the hands. Hernandez on the one hop throws over to Walker. And that is the third out. But not before the Cavalry extend their lead. Courtesy of Zach Wilson. The Cavalry now lead this game 3-1 after 3 innings here on Cavalry Live.
It's the festive holiday season. Make sure your car is ready to go the distance this summer. Give us a call to book in your pre-holiday safety inspection on 1300 727 320 at MIT Automotive in Fyshwick.
Hurry up with that thing. Have you tried the grey cable?
Yeah, I've tried it all. So who are you backing in this game?
With their 3-point shooting.
Guys, relax. I got this.
Don't want to miss a second of the action this season? With Tabs Basketball Live Vision, you can stream games and access exclusive previews for free, anytime, anywhere.
Whoa, don't splash the box.
Yeah, don't splash the box, bro.
Who are you backing this NBA season?
Behind these doors, people are home. Resting. Settling in. Laughing. These are more than just hotel rooms. They are spaces for living. It's a home away from home, your own abode.
We are back here for the top of the fourth at MIT Ballpark. The Canberra Cavalry leading this game 3-1 over the Auckland Tuatara.
One more try. Starting!
So for Auckland, it will be Andrew Mark, the right fielder, Daniel Lamb Hunt, the DH, and Baz Noy, the catcher. They will be the first 3 that the Tuatara will send to face Phil Pfeiffer. Gotta love rock lobster.
There's a definite theme to things here.
Oh, there is on Pride Night here. Here's the first pitch. And that is right along the inside for a called strike 1. Umpire Ben Nash liked what he saw. That one just misses. 1-1. The lights now really starting to take over here at MIT Ballpark. Mark pops it up. Podolski covering some distance in centre. Doesn't need to. Tucker Nathans is right underneath it.
Sort of saying earlier, though, about how much leg speed there is from Podolski out there. He could have continued across and got that. He covers so much ground, or he can cover so much ground there. Has no right to get to some of them, but just gets out there to do it. Sorry, mate.
Sorry, no, I interrupted you. Daniel Lamb Hunt, the DH. He was the last out of the first, top of the first for the Tuatara, off the end of the bat on the 1-3. Here's the pitch from Pfeiffer. And that's high and outside. 1-0 the count. And that one is called strike 1. Phil Pfeiffer. There's so many things that you can say. Just an unbelievable pitcher. 1-1. And that's there as well. And all of a sudden he jumps ahead in this count. As Chris Coleman said earlier, a lot of people believe this will be the year you will see Pfeiffer pitching in a Major League uniform. I believe that too. Here's the 1-2. And Lamb Hunt fouls it back. Count stays the same. One and two the count. One out here in the top of the fourth. Pfeiffer set. Here's the pitch. That is in the dirt. Well blocked by Robinson. Two and two. Foul. Count is still the same. Finally, some good baseball after the events of the week. I'm going to ask you about that in the next inning, Chris Coleman.
What events?
Well, let's just say, my friend, I want you to see. We're going to delve into some baseball history in the next inning. 2 and 2. We're going to go back 101 years.
Good Lord.
Check foul, of course. For those who are not baseball historians, you got some time to Google it. That is the 1919
World Series you're going to talk about.
The 1919 Chicago Black Sox, as they were known. And what happened to 8 players who conspired to fix the World Series?
And how does it compare to
players wearing buzzers? 2 and 2. He's just missed on the inside. And of course, it's not just the players. 3 managers have been let go, one before he even managed in a Major League game. As the count is full, here's the payoff pitch. Not so much a payoff because we'll be kind and rewind on the foul ball.
Yeah, there's stealing signs and then there's stealing signs, isn't there? It's one thing to be the runner at second and work it out. It's another thing to use technology. And I think a lot of smart people, another foul ball, a lot of smart people, when instant replay was brought into the game, said, if we give clubs replay rooms where they can look at things to decide whether it's worth a challenge or not of a replay, it won't take long before those replay rooms start getting used for other things.
I remember you saying that. Here's the payoff. And he's missed. So the Tuatara on a 10-pitch at bat. Daniel Lamb Hunt.
No, I wasn't the only person who said that. I know a lot of people who thought exactly the same thing. And lo and behold, here we are, a handful of years later, and what's happened? Teams have been using the replay rooms for other things.
Well, I believe, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a fan. Actually, we'll pause this conversation and pick it up.
We'll pick this up later because we've got a very special guest about to come in.
Here's the first pitch to Noy, and he fouls it back. Oh, and 1 is the count.
As we bring into our commentary box our Pride Night sponsor, Tom Hathaway from Hathaway Real Estate. We see
Noy fouls it off. Count is quickly 0 and 2.
But this is a very special night for us here at the ABL, and a very special night here in Canberra with the ABL hosting its first Pride Night game, and a man who, I don't know how much of a baseball fan he is. We're going to find out in a moment, but I can tell you, he looks pretty good in the Canberra Cavalry jersey. I'm learning. But let's welcome him to Cavalry Live now. Tom Hathaway from Hathaway's Real Estate. Great to have you on board, and thank you for your support to make Pride Night possible as we've seen Noy swing through. And he departs the scene with another K in the books next to him. Tom, good
Thanks
evening.
for having me. Thank you.
Great to have you here. Now, we'll try and interview you and call the game at the same time.
No problem.
You interview Tom, I'll call the game.
And first things first, I want to say, did you have any input personally into the design of these jerseys? Because they look bloody fantastic.
Listen, I did not, but they look amazing. Apart from the little logo here, that's all I really had to do.
The Hathaway Real Estate logo.
Yeah, but they look so good.
Somehow I've wound up with the collector's edition that didn't get the Hathaway Real Estate jersey.
Yeah, no, they look fantastic.
We'll just get you to sign it there later, okay? So
Done.
that will be the one. But how did your involvement in Pride Night here at MIT Ballpark come to pass?
So it was really funny. We were looking for a sponsor as well. I'm going to stop if you're commenting.
That's all right. But if he hits the ball,
done. All right, I will stop. So I was looking for a sponsor, and in the same week, Dan and Sonny messaged me and they said, "Hey, we're looking at doing this Pride Night," and I said, "You're on." I jumped at it, and it was a really good idea, and love supporting the community and bringing diversity into sport, and that's how we came about.
I'm a massive sports fan. Sorry, just bring us up to speed.
I was just going to say quickly, count his 2 balls and 1 strike on Kent Blackstone.
I'm a massive sports fan. I follow just about every sport that's going. I know a lot of sports talk about, we've got to have a Pride Night, we've got to get involved. But for a lot of those sports, it's still very much talk.
Yeah,
to actually see it come to fruition in the ABL, what does that mean for you?
To be honest, I haven't seen it, really. I haven't seen, I'm not going to name names
don't worry about that.
or other people that are doing things, but I haven't seen a lot of events that are doing, sports that are doing this event. And we've put it out there. We're doing a Pride Night. This is what we're about. And to be honest, looking at the crowd tonight, there are a lot of people wearing flags, a lot of people I see that I know, and we're bringing a whole nother community into this game, and I'm really, really loving this.
It's fantastic. As Blackstone struck out to end the inning, we're going to stay here on Cavalry Live. The Cavs leading 3-1.
Now let's use one of our new toys, shall we?
Here we go.
Here comes the shot, Tom. Give us the wave straight down the barrel of the camera. There we go. Come on in, Woz. There we go. So these jerseys, how great do they look?
I thought it was on the whole time.
No. We had the game on before.
No, okay.
So,
all right. Hi.
There we go. There we go. So there's one for the family. You can tell everyone that you actually made it up here into the commentary box. And
thank you.
And as I say, they look fantastic.
Thank you so much for supporting.
Yeah. And we should say the jerseys available via the Cavalry website. The caps and you didn't get one of the great rainbow caps.
We do.
Oh yeah.
We do
Has someone stolen yours?
No, it's in the bag.
Don't leave them lying around.
We bought one.
Yeah.
We got it. I tried them on.
Don't
it's
leave
a little
them
bit
lying
big.
around.
Don't leave them lying around because
they are going like hotcakes.
I was here earlier this afternoon and they were laying them out. That one sold. That one sold. That one sold. That one sold. This is fantastic stuff. And I think sport really it's one of the great barriers for people from the LGBTIQ community.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of stereotype about sport and it's very macho. This is what we've got to do, but we're all people, we're all human, and we're just living human beings, and this is what we do. Sport and our sexuality and whatever we like or do is totally different to what we love in sport as well, and that's what I really like.
And my other question for you is,
thank you.
This game,
hold it nice and close.
Everyone does it. They start.
Hello.
Maybe not quite that close.
That's a little hot. Robbie Perkins steps in.
Those are my ears bleeding as we take you back down to live game action, and Robbie Perkins in batting, facing the pitching of Jimmy Boyce. So there was the concept, there was the discussion. You jumped on board straight away, put your money where your mouth is, so to speak. Now to see it come to fruition, how's it panned out compared to what you thought it might be? Because I know you haven't been to a lot of baseball games. So how's it panned out compared to what you thought?
I've been to a lot of baseball games in PE in college.
Ah, right, okay. So not a lot of pro ball games. Okay, gotcha.
That's about it. But no, when we invest in a business and an idea, we're in it through and through. And so we've been here for a lot of the games of the season when they're home, when we're not being affected by the smoke, of course, with the fires that are very close by, and the camaraderie in the grandstands and everyone about and all the clapping. It's really fun and just getting used to it all. And I did Wikipedia the rules of the game.
Oh, good. Can you explain that to us at some stage?
I have no idea.
All the time,
I have no idea.
So you downloaded the full 736 page front and back. Oh, I'm impressed,
As
Tom.
well.
So
Yeah.
can we ask you, we'll put you on the spot here as it's 2-2 on Robbie Perkins. Are you looking to have this as a yearly fixture in Canberra? Are you looking to be involved?
Listen, I'm thinking about it, and I would love for Sonny and Dan to come back to me and have a bit of a chat as well. Yeah, like I'm on board. I'm here. I'm queer.
Well, I've got.
We're going to play some baseball. Yeah. As that one misses and the count is now full on Perkins.
I've got plenty of family members who are hitting me up asking for jerseys, caps, and so on. So if I can't get them this year, I think we've got to do it again next year. So
absolutely,
Tom, great to have you on board.
Let's do it.
Very quickly, for people who want to know a little bit about your business, we'll let you get the plug in. Tell us a little bit about Hathaway Real Estate before you go.
So we started.
As Robbie Perkins gets.
Sorry,
Yep. Okay.
Tell us about Hathaway
All
Real
right.
Estate.
So Hathaway Real Estate is a property management company at the moment. We started 4 years ago. We help landlords, tenants, everyone looking to rent out a property or live in a property, and we do it well. And you know what? The Google reviews speak for themselves.
I was about to say, what's the easiest way to find you? Probably just Google Hathaway Real Estate.
Exactly.
And away you go.
Hathaway.estate. That is our website.
As Robbie Perkins goes, and there is no throw, as I believe that he's just been called for a balk. I believe home plate umpire Ben Nash, he signalled straight away. I think Boyce may have done something.
Well, we'll just wait for the. Well, I'm not sure whether it's going on as a balk or otherwise, but. Perkins is definitely across there at second base. Tom, we'll let you enjoy the game, and if you work out actually what's going on down there, feel free to come up and let us know. Okay, we're more than happy.
I'll be waving.
Okay, good.
What is going on?
What is going on? Well,
Canberra's leading, my friend. That's what we need to know.
No, like when you come down here in the field and you pick it up really quickly, and it's just a really good event, and everyone should come down here.
All right. Well,
thank you.
Thank you for coming and joining us tonight, Tom.
Thank you for your support of the Cavalry and for Pride Night. Yeah, we can't do mic drops. It tends to deafen people at home. I know you'd love to, but thank you very much for coming in, and look forward to catching up with you outside the commentary box at some stage. Tom Hathaway from Hathaway Real Estate, and great sponsors, and without them, Pride Night wouldn't be happening here tonight, and we do thank them for their support. The Cavalry, none out, one on, and a 1-1 count on Kyle Perkins in the batter's box.
Robbie Perkins walked, of course. Kyle, he had a base hit in the second. Boyce checks Robbie Perkins. Here's the pitch. And he's missed with that one.
Have you ever noticed how much Sarge, the Cavalry mascot, resembles Freddie Mercury? I'm just putting that out there. Just some of the body antics tonight. There's a definite bit of Mercury going on down there.
2-1. Second baseman in. Boyce looks but doesn't throw. Here's the pitch. Perkins. He's popped that up. Max Brown, the centre fielder under it, takes the catch. And the first out is in the books here. As Kelvin Melian will step in. So back to what we were discussing. Do you think if players have been found to be wearing equipment, should they receive the same treatment as the 1919 Black Sox players?
That's a really good question.
You know what? I'm never shy.
Yeah.
I will say yes. Any player who is found wearing that should be banned for life. Here's the broken bat single, and Robbie is being waved around. Here comes the throw from Kim. It's cut off. Perkins scores, and he was chugging. He got waved by Lee Mills. There was no hesitation. And Kelvin Melian with a broken bat single extends this lead to 4-1.
The Cavalry really revving it up here at the moment. And the broken bat, we talked about this last night, the broken bat, sometimes it's your friend. That time it was the friend. Sometimes it's not so much. Get a little bit less on it and nowhere near any good for you. But yeah, back to players wearing technology.
Well, here's the other side of it. And I'm not saying that, I know that you think that I tease you a lot, and this is not teasing, this is me asking an honest question.
I know exactly where you're going with
Where
this.
am I going?
You're going to talk. Well, you know I'm a Dodgers fan.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, here's my question. The great Clayton Kershaw, as that one misses for ball one, has been labelled as not the best in October. But if the Astros were presumably using this technology, that's what I mean. If these players,
the impact on the stats, the impact on the career legacy of a man who will make the Baseball Hall of Fame.
1-0, and that's inside for ball two.
But I've heard so many people when they try and get a rise out and you say Kershaw, he'll be in the Hall of Fame, but they'll have an asterisk next to him for his post-season performance. There's a whole organisation now, and there might be a second organisation that might wind up with one as well.
Well, that's the other side of it. If you were found to be cheating and stealing signals, should you, like using technology, blatantly breaking the rules, how do you keep your World Series title?
Good question.
That's the thing. The only player that's been named in this, which was Carlos Beltran, was no longer a player. So huge implications, I think, in the next few weeks in Major League Baseball, of course. Here's the 2-0. Podolski along the ground to the shortstop. He fires for one, but no chance of a throw over to first.
Melian doing a great job to break up the double play there. I don't know whether you spotted that but he's dived to slide and was well short, and he was never going to make contact with the bag. He was never going to make contact with the second baseman, Blackstone. But the dive and the slide in there was just enough in the line there to disrupt Blackstone to have any chance to get him for the throw.
I agree with that, but I also think maybe the low throw from Hernandez
didn't help.
No, as he picks back. Podolski is there. I'll tell you what. Barry Allen over at first base, Robbie Podolski, a.k.a. The Flash. Cam Warner, 1 for 2 tonight. Strike one. Cam Warner flew out in the second to end the inning.
There's another factor we didn't mention in why that double play didn't go ahead too. Podolski's kind of fast up the first baseline. So that's 3 reasons it was never going to go ahead.
Warner out to centre field. Max Brown heading back. Has it comfortably, and that ends the inning. But Canberra, after being scoreless in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 here in the fourth, and they lead this game 4 runs to 1 after 4 here on Cavalry Live.
Yeah, Gallo. Oh, this is how we gonna do it.
Behind these doors, people are home. Resting, settling in, laughing. These are more than just hotel rooms. They are spaces for living. It's a home away from home, your own abode.
If you're about to make university decisions, make sure you stand out from the crowd. UC is ACT's #1 uni for graduate employment and starting salaries. UC has work placements in every degree. UC is designed specifically for Canberra and the region. Run your own race at the University of Canberra. Apply now, get UC qualified and run circles around the rest.
Back here for the top of the 5th on Cavalry Live. Warwick Pethybridge and Chris Coleman with you on the call. Phil Pfeiffer, after giving up a run in the first, has been almost flawless.
Having a night again.
And there's...
What have I got? I got him down for 6 Ks through 4 innings.
So do I.
Some nice numbers. Take it away, Was.
Max Brown, centre fielder. 0 for 1. He's one of those 6 Ks from Phil Pfeiffer. Steps in to lead off the 5th here for the Tuatara. Here's the first pitch. Brown bunts, Pfeiffer charges, picks it up, fires over to first to Wilson. What a great defensive play from Phil Pfeiffer. As Brown tried to lay the bunt and drop the bunt down, Pfeiffer charging down to field his position. Picks up, spins and throws on the 1-3. Oh, I love this song too. Yoni Hernandez, he is 0 for 2. Canberra Cavalry CEO Don McMichael behind us in the box. I'll tell you what, Don, this might accidentally find its way back to Wagga after tonight, mate. I'll tell you that right now. This just looks good. Mind you, everything. No, I'm just kidding. Here's the first pitch. As we have an update from Brisbane, the Blue Sox scoring 2 runs in the top of the third. They currently lead 4-2 over the Bandits in that crucial series up there in Brisbane. Here's the 0-1. Evens the count at 1-1. Melbourne, they've put on a couple more as well. They lead 4-1 down in Melbourne. Every game crucial in all divisions at the moment. Here's the 1-1 from Pfeiffer. Fouled back. Yoni Hernandez is down 1-2. As you can start hearing on the effects mic, the hissing of the balloons as we're getting ready for the balloon drop, I believe. 1-2 the count on the shortstop, Yoni Hernandez. I'll tell you what, I reckon I haven't spotted this until now. Two and two. Here's the pitch from Pfeiffer. Down periscope. Did he go? No, he didn't. All good, captain. I've just noticed something here. I'm just wondering. Count is full on Yoni Hernandez. Here's the pitch. As he fouls it back, we'll do it again. I'm right. Chucky Robinson tonight is not wearing his number 30. He's wearing number 10. I've only just noticed that halfway through a game. Good work, Boz. Count is full on Yoni Hernandez. Here's the payoff pitch from Pfeiffer. Foul. One hand, one bounce. Hernandez just walking it off. All right, oh, you know what? We've actually persuaded him to join us.
Yeah. Like it's so hard to get Don to have a chat on the stream.
Hi, Don.
I was.
Canberra Cavalry CEO Don McMichael in the commentary box with us. Are we going to put the camera on you, Don?
I don't think we need
to. We don't need to. No, we got the game. We got the game to watch at the minute.
That's right.
Verdict on the season so far, Don.
It's been a great challenge this season, obviously with the smoke, losing players. We've had Suter, who was picked up by the Cubs, so he's gone home early. We've had a few injuries, but the boys are still out there alive and fighting for a spot in the final. So exciting. Yeah, it's been an exciting season.
I'll take a stab. Your heart skipped a beat when you heard that Sydney were beating Brisbane up there in north of the border.
Look, I really don't care who wins, but go Sydney.
I really don't care who wins that game as long as we stay above both of them. That's about it, isn't it?
As long as Sydney wins.
I was going to say as long as we win, just keep winning.
Yeah. We're in a position. We've really got our destiny in our own hands from now through. With Sydney to go next week.
Full count here
on Yoni Hernandez. He's put together quite a good at bat against Pfeiffer. Here's the payoff pitch.
Oh, just as the pitch comes, there's a balloon burst right behind him.
And you know what, as well, how distracting that must be, because I'm starting to see some of them, whether they're being not intentionally let go, but yeah. So a walk for Hernandez. And that'll bring up Johnny Homza. But as you said, Don, a great effort by the side and by the coaching staff, Keith Ward and his team, to still be theoretically with, as you said, players going home, games being cancelled, games being heavily affected back against Brisbane, and when we had the unheralded situation of having a game stopped Saturday night and played over Sunday morning. This team believes in itself. Here's the pitch from Pfeiffer. As he pops that back to right. Tucker Nathans is gone, and that will carry over the wall. And that is a home run to Johnny Homza. And it is now 4-3.
We started our recruiting very early this year. We started back in May, and we were looking for a balanced side. And I think with the players we've got, we did a reasonable job. We've got a good depth in the pen, and we've got some really good hitters. But losing Caccini hurt, and certainly losing Suda hurts. But we've got good Australian talent coming through.
So just explain that for the people at home that don't know. Suda, of course, was supposed to be here for the season, but of course, trading major league affiliations mid-season, the Cubs have called him back.
No, well, he was with Mariners before, and he got picked up by the Cubs. They saw him pitch on one occasion and liked his arm, so they've picked him up and they're taking him back as a pitcher. So it's great credit to him.
I'm disappointed we didn't get to see him throw here.
Yes. Well, I don't think he had any intentions of doing anything but being an outfielder, but no, he's done very well. But I mean, you could see his arm from right field when he threw in. It was pretty close to Robbie Perkins.
As that is fouled and quickly, Walker is down 0-2. And Cicchini, he went home.
Yeah, Gavin was a surprise. As you know, we had the game on Saturday night that was cancelled. Came in on Sunday morning, and he decided to go home. He was concerned about the smoke, which is fair enough. But it was just a great surprise, and it left us in a bit of a spot, but we've covered it. Good player, very good player, Caccini.
As that is in the dirt, and he didn't go. For ball one. But as we were alluding to earlier before you're up here, the two Mr. Fix-It men on this team, it seems at the moment, Kyle Perkins, he's been left field, centre field, catching now at third base. Tucker Nathans, second, third, centre, right, wherever you need them.
There are utilities, yep.
And we were floating the idea of maybe getting an orange helmet for the all-time home run leader of the Cavalry, because there seems, while Kyle holds it at the moment, there's guys gathering pace and closing with great speed.
Wilson's chasing him very quickly. But you don't lose anything with Kyle on third. He's got a great arm. Good eye, so we haven't lost a lot with him on third. In fact, we've lost nothing with him on third.
Not at all. He's done a great job. 2-2 is the count on Jared Walker, the first baseman for the Tuatara. Here's the pitch. He lines that out to centre field. Podorski tracking back, takes the catch, and it is 2 away.
Now, Don, of course, we have been talking about post-season contention and so on. The ABL have decided this year that semi-final series, along with the championship series, will be played in a split format. So home, away, or away, home, depending on your on your perspective. Mm-hmm. As things stand, if Canberra can hold its position right now, we would host the wildcard game. What happens thereafter? If you win the wildcard game, if we were to win the wildcard game, would that mean game 1 would then be at home and 2 and 3 would be away?
We'd host the following game for the first of the knockout finals. Mm-hmm. If we made it through, which is a big call, but just out of interest, if we made it through, we chose games 2 and 3 to host here.
If the championship series is here in Canberra, that's games 2 and 3.
Yep.
So try and win the whole thing on the home turf.
Here's the pitch from Pfeiffer. Kim back into right field. Tucker Nathans is heading back to the track, to the wall, and that is gone. And all of a sudden, the Tuatara.
It's a home run derby.
All of a sudden, they have put on 3 runs in this inning.
Unusual for Pfeiffer. He's been pretty tight all season.
We were talking earlier about his phenomenal strikeout rate.
Yeah.
No, 49 strikeouts, Oars coming into 9 off 41.1 innings pitched. He's picked up another half a dozen here, but
Yeah.
just struggling a little in this fifth inning.
Yeah.
2 out. And that brings up Andrew Mark, the right fielder.
I tell you, here's a man who knows how to get his way on base.
Here's the pitch from Pfeiffer. Popped up, foul.
And final question, Don, because I know you've got things to do around the ballpark this evening, but with regard to the club having lost, we'll just see a ground ball rolls to the ground, picked up by Pfeiffer, sends it across to Wilson, and the play completed. Obviously, losing that series against Adelaide, just completely being abandoned, has had an impact on the club. For local fans who are watching tonight, maybe at home, really the message is to get out here tomorrow or Sunday night, and a great innovation to have Sunday night baseball here for your last chance during the regular season and support the team.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. We've effectively lost about 35% of our revenue opportunity, and we have a small window of operation, as you know, with 5 home series, so it has a dramatic impact on us. The more people that can get out over the next 2 days, the better it'll be for us. And there go the balloons.
How great does that look? A little bit of Japanese baseball culture that's been brought here to the Canberra Cavalry. The balloons with the little whistles in the end, and away they go. Yeah. And now we'll see how many of them wind up hanging on the net for the next hour.
And the fans love it, don't they?
They get right into it. And the other thing that amuses me, and I've seen a couple of kids put up pictures on Facebook, a lot of the kids go around, they chase the balls, they chase the balloons to pick them up and do their bit for the environment. So a lot of the kids will go around and pick these up and collect them up afterwards as well.
Great.
It's great stuff.
Yeah, very conscious.
But Don, great of you to come in for a chat, and Happy New Year to you. And
thanks very much,
we'll catch up again soon.
No worries. Thanks, mate.
Thanks very much.
There's Don McMichael, the Canberra Cavalry CEO, joining us here in the Cavalry Live box this evening. We're
halfway through.
Middle of the game.
And it is now all square.
We might see if we can squeeze in one very quick break. No, I don't think we're going to have time somehow, so we'll just roll on here. I will give you the scores.
That is a pitching change.
That is a pitching change. So you dig out who...
How am I digging? Well, I can't see anything. No, I'm just kidding.
I can't help you with that.
Now.
We'll get the pitching change for you first up.
Jimmy Boyce picked through 4. I'm sorry, what was that?
It's Takahashi. Koji Takahashi is the man on the mound taking over. So we'll get some numbers for
Boyce.
Jimmy Boyce.
4 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 3 home runs, brings his season ERA to 6.62. Phil Pfeiffer, even giving up 4 runs tonight, his ERA is still only at 2.72. Tucker Nathans has been quiet tonight by his standard, a fly out and a strikeout. He will look to change that now as he steps in. Bottom half of 5, we are exactly halfway through this game, and it is a new game, 4-all. Here's the pitch. And Nathans tries to swing and put one at Canberra Airport.
I was amazed, by the way, the rainfall, the official rainfall figure for Canberra yesterday was 4 millimetres. And that's measured at the airport, which is only about 5 kilometres across to over the right field fence.
Okay, so why is that amazing?
Because here we got about 3 inches in about 15 minutes.
All right. I'm not saying anything. 0-1 is the count on Nathans.
It absolutely hammered down here for...
Stop
Yeah.
talking.
Okay.
1-1. We're back to baseball here on Cavalry Live. Pride night here in the nation's capital. One and one. Here's the pitch. And that breaking ball is in there for strike 2. Koji Takahashi, the new pitcher for the Tuatara. Effectively. We'll see if Keith Ward wants to try one more from Phil Pfeiffer. Here's the 1-2. He fouls it off.
Well, Takahashi comes in effectively now as the starting pitcher for a 5-inning game, potentially, doesn't he?
Well,
although I think you'll find...
Shinichi Oniki did that to great success in the last series here that we had a month ago.
I think you'll find he won't throw too many innings here. Takahashi. Could be one of those games where the Tuatara wind up running through 5 or 6 pitches.
1-2. And that has caught home plate umpire Ben Nash on the hand. That has been missed by Baz Noy on the inside, and that has whacked home plate umpire Ben Nash right on the hands in the rest position. And I can tell you what, Chris, having home plate umpired a few games myself and nowhere near that speed, as one of the balloons is making its way out to near first base. Keep an eye on that. 2-2. That will hurt. Here's the pitch to Nathans. Foul, and we'll do it again at 2-2. And all of a sudden, if you have a look over there, the first base coach for the Cavalry is having to pick up balloons. The kids near that right field fence, launching them not up but out. As you can see, quite an overcast night in the background of our shot here in the nation's capital. Here's the 2-2 again. Nathans does it again. So, bottom of the 5th. 4 runs apiece here. Here's the 2-2 again to Tucker Nathans. And that is low and inside, and the count is now full. Last thing I'll say about what's happening this week, and then we'll put it to bed for the night.
Yep.
You gotta love a guy who calls something early. My baseball unicorn, one of my heroes, Trevor Bauer, 18 months ago, now all of a sudden feels vindicated as Nathan's one hops this to Hernandez over to first to Walker, and Nathan's only missed it by a step. And that is the first out. But the players and the officials who came out over the last 18 months and said something wasn't right and were quietened down and vilified must be feeling, well, I mean, not only happy for themselves because they've been vindicated, but at the same time sad because of what's happened.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we can play it up and play it down all we want, but in the space of 48 hours, 3 of the biggest storied franchises in baseball are now, well, 2, and one of the recent challenges are now looking for new managers. And the Yankees got Jarrett Cole.
Do you think?
So,
well, what happens if MLB does decide to step in now and start hooking players?
I think you've got to, for the integrity of the game. I mean,
well, players, in the end, it took a long time for MLB to act, as we see ball sent out. That'll be a single, maybe even a double as it falls into the gap between left and centre.
Wilson is digging for 2. Brown with the throw, but it's wide. And Zach Wilson will stand up at second base. Sorry there, Chris.
That's all good.
I just was helping a friend out, but that's, as you said, it took a long time to act. And then, of course, the article that blew the lid open in the Athletics, some great reporting. Mike Fiers, who was this season at the Oakland Athletics, the pitcher who was part of that Houston championship team, potential, you could say, whistleblower. And now the only player, as I said, to be named in this was now the former no-game manager of the New York Mets, Carlos Beltran.
Yeah, what happens to the Mets now?
Oh, no. Here's the greatest conspiracy theory I heard. Hang on.
Oh, good. This will be
as
good.
Candlett steps in, and that is low for ball 1. Beltran was the only player named so that he would be fired so that the Mets number 15 would still be available when Tim Tebow comes up. That's one that I heard today. 1-0.
Now I've heard everything.
And that's the... Hang on. Here's the pitch. And the breaking curve misses outside. And it is 2-0 on Candless. Zach Wilson is the runner at second, 1 out for the Cavalry. But, of course, Alex Cora. Like, he hasn't even had a penalty handed to him by MLB yet. The Red Sox. So, of course, yes, the Red Sox, the Mets, and the Astros now all looking for managers. As that one's there. 2-1. Right now, Chris Coleman, if all three clubs came to you and they said, we want you, where are you going? Have a think.
Jeez, which one do I hate the most?
Oh.
knowing my managerial lack of skill?
No, but I mean, from a list standpoint, here's the 2-1. Candless pops that up behind first base. Walker heading back. Blackstone has called him off. And that is the second out. I'll tell you what, I think the Mets are building something.
Look, the Mets have the Mets have been building something for 50 years.
I know. But look, this is it. Last sentence, and then I'm going to put it to bed.
Okay. As you said that, I think 3 times now.
I know. But the Astros, what an 8 years. Tank to win draft picks, build them up, sign free agents, play Jeopardy with buzzers, win a World Series. But
and then get an asterisk next to it.
Well, the one undisputable fact that has come out today, and if you've seen the video of the Jose Altuve home run that won the American League Championship Series, as here's the pitch to Robinson. That's in the dirt. Wilson is going to third. There will be no throw from Noy as he slips. And now the Cavalry have a runner 90 feet away. Is when Jose Altuve hit the walk-off on Chapman, and you see him rounding third, you can visibly say to his teammates, do not rip my jersey off.
And why would that be?
Well, apparently it was because his wife didn't like it. But bye-bye Astros. It was great. You were relevant for 6 minutes. Welcome back to obscurity with love, an Indians fan. 1-0 is the count on Jackie Robinson. 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th as we're back at MIT Ballpark from Waz's Weird World of Wonderfulness. Zach Wilson is the runner at third. Here's the pitch. And that is low. Canberra trying to get a go-ahead run again and get something started after 2 home runs. A 2-run shot to Homza. And then a solo shot to Kim. It tied this game up. Here's the 2-0. And that is a called strike one from home plate umpire Ben Nash. Obviously got the feeling back in his fingers. He had a good call on that one. That's right, Chris. You know what? Last night you had a little bit of professionalism.
Yeah.
But now the Achilles heel is back. 2-1.
It's too good to last.
I tell you what, why don't you have a night off tomorrow? Just let me and Alex enjoy some time.
You've seen the roster. You know full well I've got the night off tomorrow.
2-1. Here's the pitch. Robinson swings through and misses. 2-2. That's right, children. Tomorrow night we'll be playing the second part this season of Ask Was. 2-2 with 2 out. As the race heats up across both divisions here in the ABL. So 2-2. Wilson at third. Here's the pitch from Takahashi. And that is outside and the count is full. Still a big crowd in here. Here on Pride Night at the ballpark, the first Pride game in the Australian Baseball League in support of the LGBTQI community here in Australia. Full count on Robinson. Here's the pitch. And that has missed. And all of a sudden, Canberra have runners at the corners. Oh, no.
No, I'm not looking at the local radar. I'm just casting my eyes north at the radar to see.
Okay, so that's Queensland.
That's Brisbane. There's a lot of rain just to the west of Brisbane, but at Newmarket.
Well, Brisbane in the bottom of the 5th have scored a run. It is now 4-3.
That game gets through 5. It becomes official, goes in the books. And there's a bit of rain around. I don't know if it'll be enough to completely halt the game.
So, with 2 outs and Robbie Perkins in to hit, Zach Wilson is at third. Chucky Robinson is at first. Here's the pitch from Takahashi. And Ben Nash says he went around. Perkins, he is 0 for 1, but has a walk and scored a run. Here's the pitch. And that one is outside. I'm just looking around, Chris, seeing all the people in the Pride Night shirts, the Raglan 3/4 sleeves, the black and white, and then you see the orange ones as well. The hats are everywhere. That misses as well. What a great initiative, of course. Indigenous night here last night at the park.
Some great Indigenous art on baseballs and bats raffled off amongst the crowd last night. Didn't even get a chance to buy a ticket myself. I'm very disappointed I missed out on the chance to win some of that stuff. There's some real collector's items went up for grabs last night.
Here's the 2-1 to Robbie Perkins. And that misses as well. And all of a sudden with 3-1, it's a hitter's count. Think fastball, think down the pipe.
Well, single scores a run. Walk loads the bases.
And Takahashi, he's set. Here's the pitch, and that is outside, and the bases are loaded. I tell you what, over the years, I've said a few things about being Wastradamus, but tonight I bow to you, my friend. Tonight I bow to you. You are on fire. Kyle Perkins. He is the man tasked with, well, either a walk or a hit. So, bases are loaded, 2 out. Zach Wilson is at third. Chucky Robinson is at second. Robbie Perkins is at first. Here is the pitch from Takahashi. And that one misses.
I'm just trying to see if there's anybody up actually throwing in the Tuatara bullpen. There's a lot of guys up stretching. And Josh Coleman, to the pitching coach for Auckland, I think it was him. I just saw go. He's walked just out of our view where he's having a chat with somebody.
Yeah, oh, Perkins swings through. Here's the pick throw back to first. Oh, Robbie Perkins just made it back.
That's great baseball from Perkins.
The great awareness from Baz Noy with loaded bases, realising how far down the first base line Perkins was. Snap throw on the money to Walker. Perkins just beats it back. I'll tell you what, great awareness as well by Zach Wilson. Once he saw that throw, he was on a good lead and he took a couple extra steps just in case that ball got by. 1-1 is the count on Kyle Perkins. They call that, I don't care. That is one of the gutsiest moves in baseball. With bases loaded, here's the pitch. And that's in there. With bases loaded to snap throw to first. Because if you miss that throw,
oh yeah,
2 runs score.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, you're getting the worst dressing down of your life. 1-2 is the count on Kyle Perkins. 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 4-all is the score. Big moment in this game. Here is the pitch to Perkins. And that's low. 2-2.
Get ready for chaos ball. It's coming.
Oh. Stop it. Come on, Chris Stradamus. What happens next?
Well,
tell me the future. You've got about 8 seconds.
High and outside for a ball.
All right. I reckon he's going to put one in the alley in right centre. Here's the 2-2.
Catcher sets up on the inside, moves out, goes down to the dirt.
Well, you said I'll give you a half a point because you said outside. So the count is full. All of a sudden, he's signalling something. Baz Noy just good. I don't know if he was signalling to Blackstone just to move out and get into the infield.
Well, Blackstone's dropped right back.
Well, the infield is deep.
Right back. Yeah, everyone's back other than Walker.
Any bag is a play. So loaded bases, 3-2. Pivotal moment in this game. What does Koji Takahashi have here with the payoff pitch? Runners go. That is high, ball 4. Canberra retakes the lead on a bases loaded walk.
Somewhat anticlimactic, but the Cavalry fans will take it.
I reckon this is going to bring out the manager because after 3 walks in a row, and the translator for Steve Mintz. Of course, this.
Well, I tell you, my scorebook looks like I'm a man with a stutter. I've got B everywhere down there.
But Rocket gives you back your BB bounce. 2 out here. Canberra. Oh, I think we're just having a conference because they haven't taken the ball and there's no movement
I'm just going to have another look down in
You have a
the
look.
bullpen. See if there is...
I think there is something happening now.
There is someone throwing. He's hiding. He's hidden behind the bleachers from our point of view.
Kelvin Melian, the shortstop, he will be the next man into the batter's box. He is 1 for 2. He had the broken bat single.
And an RBI.
And well, that scored Robbie Perkins from second.
While this is happening, let's go around the grounds and see if we can bring you completely up to speed. So there is rain around in Brisbane, where that game has probably reached the stage of being official now. It is. It's in the top of the 6th, and the Sydney Blue Sox, they lead 4-3. So it rains out from there. The Sydney Blue Sox, well, they'll score the win. They'll keep themselves in the championship chase, but they've just got to keep winning. They are well and truly behind. But they are winning that one 4-3. In Melbourne put on 4 runs early. They've added another one in the 5th. They lead 5-1 over the Adelaide Giants. That game's still in the bottom of the 5th. And Perth, well, they've given up their first runs to Geelong Korea for the series, but they lead 7-2. That game moving into the top of the 7th.
Congratulations to Luke Hughes with a solo home run in the third inning there tonight. Becomes the first player in the modern ABL to reach 60 career home runs.
Congratulations to Luke Hughes, and congratulations on a great Australian Baseball League and indeed baseball career to Luke Hughes, as we see Kelvin Melian come in. Hughes announcing this week, along with Alan D. San Miguel and Peter Moylan, that time has finally arrived and they're wrapping it up. They're calling it a day after this 2019-2020 ABL season. 3 greats of the game, 3 of the nicest blokes you'd ever meet in baseball circles.
Melian gets under that. That's into right field. As it's going to get in for a base hit. 1 run scores. That's Robinson. Perkins scores. That's 2. And all of a sudden, on a bloop single to right field from Kelvin Melian, 2 runs score in Chucky Robinson and Robbie Perkins. And Canberra now lead this game 7-4. Sorry, Chris, you were saying?
About nice guys. Luke Hughes, Alan D. San Miguel,
and Cole.
And Peter Moylan. 3 of the nicest blokes you'll ever meet. I had the privilege of interviewing both of them on multiple occasions through their careers. Absolutely amazing guys. And I know Luke Hughes over time gets a lot of bad press. He is just the most intense competitor.
Eyes of fury.
He is one bloke. If you were picking an Australian Baseball League all-time team, he's one bloke you'd have, without any shadow of a doubt. He's one bloke you'd have in that team. And to all those 3 gentlemen, all the very best. To Alan D. San Miguel, we said it last night, but we wish you all the best in your recovery after that nasty pitch to the face last week.
0-1 is the count on Podolski, the centre fielder.
Runner goes.
He fouls that. That's going to go towards the Tuatara bullpen. But I tell you what, that was... and such a sad way for someone as decorated as D-San to finish. But you know what? He'll probably be still involved in baseball next season, and he'll be around the traps and just one of the game's great gentlemen.
I don't know what their plans are.
I'm just saying.
I don't know what their plans are, and I don't know what John Deeble's plans are, because every year we hear from people who are allegedly close to John Deeble saying, well, John said it's his last year this year, as another foul ball goes off into the safety netting behind Podolski. Count remains 0-2.
I think he's had more retirements than Jordan, hasn't he?
Just about. But if he does decide to pull the plug after this season, or if he decides to go around one more time, think about it. You could have a pitching coach in Peter Moylan, a hitting coach in Luke Hughes, Alan D. San Miguel helping out your catchers, helping out your fielders, and then you've groomed the next generation.
0-2 is the count, and that's scary. Here's the pitch. Podolski swings through and misses. That is a strikeout to end the inning, but not before Canberra, after giving up 3 in the top half of the 5th, score 3 themselves to reset the ledger. It is 7-4 in favour of the Cavalry over the Tuatara after 5 here on Cavalry Live.
Follow the boats to the view at the top, the snap of the dawn to the peck of the crop. Across the horizon you jump, skip and hop and never stop.
If you're about to make university decisions, make sure you stand out from the crowd. UC is ACT's #1 uni for graduate employment and starting salaries. UC has work placements in every degree. UC is designed specifically for Canberra and the region. Run your own race at the University of Canberra. Apply now, get UC qualified and run circles around the rest. If you're about to make university decisions...
Friday night baseball. Just 2 regular season games left here in the nation's capital. But it's Pride Night tonight, and the Canberra Cavalry giving their fans something to be proud of. They've scored in 4 innings out of 5 so far to lead this game 7 runs to 4 over the Auckland Tuatara. The Tuatara are a very different side from the 2018-19 model, and they will not go down without a fight. But this man on the mound, Phil Pfeiffer, has been absolutely out of sight for them.
Did give up 2 home runs in the last inning.
This is the challenge. How do you bounce back?
As into the box for the Tuatara is Daniel Lamb Hunt, the designated hitter.
And Pfeiffer, after a first pitch ball, gets back into the zone, takes it to a 1-1 count.
Lamb Hunt, he had a ground out and a walk. Here's the pitch. And that is low. As Pfeiffer has got to be getting up there in pitch count. It's got to be getting quite high. He'd be close to 100 by now, I reckon. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike as Chris is endeavouring to find out on Lamb Hunt, the DH for the Tuatara. Here's the pitch from Pfeiffer. High. And he held up. 3-1.
So that's 97 or 98, depending on how quickly how far behind the game computer is.
3-1 is the count. And that has popped into right field. Tucker Nathan's around as easy as you like. And he takes the catch. 1 away. One away. Oh, the classic Taylor Dane, tell it to my heart. Wow, he's digging him out tonight, Perce. As
I think there's a definite theme to the music tonight.
Oh, I'm sure there is, but I mean, I forget that he's a radio man, so I forget that. Or he was a radio man, wasn't he? I don't know. Oh, I know.
Everybody's a radio man.
I'm a radio man.
This club's got plenty of them.
Baz Noy, the catcher. Struck out looking, struck out swinging. Here we go. Ground out to second base. Here's the 1-0. Oh, no, foul ball. I was trying to jump on the Chris prediction train.
Leave it.
1-1.
Leave it. You haven't got your ticket tonight, my friend.
Oh, mate, I tell you what.
There's no ticket inspector to punch your ticket.
Oh, don't be like that. Phil Pfeiffer, 1-1. As Noy swings through and misses. Almost reminiscent of a Steve Waugh slog sweep. Ended up on one knee. Pfeiffer would say if he gets through this inning, that'll be it for him. North of 100 pitches now. 1-2. And he misses and it becomes 2-2. One out here. Here's the pitch from Pfeiffer to Noy. That is high and the count is full. Love that noise. Full count on the catcher, Baz Noy. Phil Pfeiffer Now at 103 pitches for 66 strikes. Here's the 104th. And that is right there, called on the inside. And I'll tell you what, to be able to reach back after throwing 103 pitches and still...
Now batting is the second baseman, number 30, Ken Blackstone.
Here's the actual funny stat. Phil Pfeiffer has 3 ground outs tonight. All 3 of them were to Phil Pfeiffer. On 1 to 3 plays. He's done well. He's fielded his position. 2 out as Blackstone steps in. And he dropped his bundle on 1. But yeah, 3. So there you go. 3 ground outs.
True.
5
He's only
players.
got the 3 ground outs. I've just gone back through the book and had a look. Yeah, he's got so 7 strikeouts, 3 ground outs, all 1 to 3s, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flyouts.
And the curveball is in there for strike 2.
I reckon if he gets this one, gets a strikeout here, his job will be done. It'll be about 108 pitches and 8 strikeouts across 6 innings. That's not a bad night's work.
0-2 is the count. Here's the pitch to Blackstone. Swings through and misses, and Chris calls it again.
Oh, and Blackstone's filthy on himself.
He's thrown the bat and turns around and...
I don't know what he's turning around and verbaling for there.
I think it was the called strike 2 on the inside. We'll take a break here on Cavalry Live. We're halfway through 6. Canberra leading 7 runs to 4.
Follow the boats to the view at the top, the snap of the dawn to the peck of the crop. Across the horizon you jump, skip and hop and never stop.
Canberra looking to continue a very, very hot streak here at MIT Ballpark in Friday night baseball in the nation's capital. They have scored 7 runs across the last 4 innings, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 3 in the fifth, and they have a 3-run lead, 7-4 over the visiting Auckland Tuatara in this game. They are looking to add on more runs and pile on more pain and perhaps force the Auckland side to use a few more pitches. It's a conversation I started with Harrow last night on the Thursday night game, and I'd love your thoughts on it. Was of course well documented that the Auckland Tuatara this year are playing their home games. They're playing them over 7 innings which has got them a national TV deal, and great move for them to actually get a national TV deal. It's something that every other club in the league other than Geelong Korea would absolutely envy. But it does mean that it changes the way that the team plays the game. And you get to this stage of the season now, they're going to have some fresh arms, but they're going to be arms that don't have a lot of innings in them, as we see in the batter's box for the Cavalry. Warner fouling it back onto the first base side. Yes, they'll be fresh, but it also means, especially if they've got to use a few arms here, they'll get to halfway through tomorrow night's game and through Sunday's game, and they could really find themselves struggling to be able to compete late into the series. Fly ball from Warner. That's going deep. It's going back. Kim underneath it. He's looking at it. He's looking at it. He jumps, but he can't get it. It's another jack for the Canberra Cavalry tonight. That's the 4th one that's been dispatched into the, what are we going to call it now? The Candless, Wilson, Robinson, Warner car detailing lot outside the left field fence.
What about the Pride Bash brothers? In honour of Pride Night here in the nation's capital, Cam Warner. Once again, someone did predict he was going to have a big season. Extends the lead 8-4. So, okay.
Pride Night, there's more fireworks here than the Mardi Gras. Yep.
Oh, I don't know about that. Lots of fire. Anyway, Tucker Nathan steps in. So I understand your point with the Tuatara playing 7 innings games at home.
Yep.
And it's especially like, I would be interested to see how, as you just said, Chris, as here's the pitch from Takahashi. Nathan's has clubbed that. Brown is heading back. He is right under it. And Nathan's just seems a little bit, I don't know, doesn't have the same pop.
Oh, he's about 15 feet short on his game tonight.
Anyway.
Those 2 fly balls, if he'd hit them a tiny bit harder, they were both gone. They've both been caught in deep territory.
But look who's coming up now. Here he comes, Hoss. But I tell you.
Get the triple, Zach. Get the triple. Come on.
Oh.
Get the triple. Give us something really interesting to look for in the 8th or 9th inning.
Zach
Or the 8th inning. We might not get to it. He might not get a bat in the 9th.
Canberra first baseman has a home run and a double with 1 out. So, of course, your point being, Chris, that with 7 innings, you could essentially get your starter to go 6 and bring in a closer.
Mm-hmm. Well, your starter only goes 4 and you use a couple of relievers.
And I think that's going to hurt them. And it'd be interesting to see, as that is a called strike on Wilson to even the count at 1-1, how they're going to pan out towards the end of this weekend.
Well, boys only threw 65 pitches tonight.
They were away in Sydney last weekend and now here this weekend. So back-to-back inning weekends with 9 innings. But as that misses inside, count is 2-1. And of course, you know, at the moment they lead our division, so they would host, if things stay as they were, a playoff series. Those games would be 9 innings.
Yes.
That was part of the deal. That yes, we understand, but all playoff games are 9 innings. And but I'm just, whatever happens, I think it is fantastic for our game. It is fantastic for our league that in just their second season, the Tuatara are doing such a good job. Here's the 2-1. Wilson has slapped that back. Here is the left fielder, Kim, and he is just, it is deep fly ball practice here at MIT Ballpark. They are getting closer and closer. Warner went deep. David Candless. He comes in. He is 1 for 3. Home run. Ground out, fly out.
He's the man who sparked it all off at the start of the night.
And but yes, it'll be interesting. I heard the comments from last night that they did build. It does seem that they've built this side as that is a called strike 1 to be a 7 innings model and how it will go. But I believe they've built a great side. But the one worry I have, the one concern is we'll just pause for the pitch here. Here's the 0-1. Candless along the ground. Yoni Hernandez backhands it. He comes up throwing to Walker. Walker has to stretch but gets it. And that will retire the side. I will keep this thought for a couple of seconds while we have a break. Halfway through 6 here on Cavalry Live. It is the Canberra Cavalry now 8 thanks to Cam Warner, leading the Auckland Tuatara 4.
Yeah, Gallo. Oh, this is how we gonna do it. Hype.
If you're about to make university decisions, make sure you stand out from the crowd. UC is ACT's #1 uni for graduate employment and starting salaries. UC has work placements in every degree. UC is designed specifically for Canberra and the region. Run your own race at the University of Canberra. Apply now, get UC qualified and run circles around the rest.
We are back here on Cavalry Live. Top of 7. Canberra leading by 4, and now after a great effort once again from Phil Pfeiffer, the game is handed over to the Cavalry bullpen to close out. The big lefty, James Mulry. He comes in. He will face, the first 3 that he will face will be Max Brown, Yoni Hernandez and Johnny Homza for the Tuatara.
I'll give you. I could guess some numbers here for Pfeiffer.
Go.
So he's had 6 innings pitched.
Yep.
6 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned. 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. But how many pitches did he throw?
108.
107. So yeah, pretty close. But how many of those 107 pitches were strikes?
76.
70.
Still a good.
That's a massive performance to throw 70 strikes.
Well, but essentially one short of being 2-1.
Yeah.
And, of course, gave up 4 runs, but still only has an ERA of 2.66.
So take out, you know, eight pitches were balls there in 2 walks. Outside of that, that's 70 and 99. That's not bad.
Outstanding effort.
3 groundouts, 5 flyouts, and as was mentioned by Woz earlier, the 3 groundouts, all 3 of them 1 to 3 groundouts.
And 2 of them, one of them was pretty much straight to him, and that was the bunt. But 2 were little dribblers, and he had to move and get off and field his position, and he did it very well. Max Brown, strikeout, and he was one of the 1 to 3 putouts by Phil Pfeiffer. As now the Tuatara, trailing by 4, are down to their final 9 outs.
Oh, never do that. Never do that. Never count the outs before the 9th inning.
I'm not counting the outs, my friend. I'm just laying the situation. As Chris gives a shut up.
Oh.
Stop it, mate. Here we go. Here's the first pitch from Mulry. He is set.
I'm not superstitious. I just believe in massive amounts of bad luck.
Oh, along the ground. First ground out chance. Here. Oh, no, he's bobbled it.
See? That's on you.
How is that on me, mate?
That's on you.
That is E6.
That's on you.
That is not on me, mate. I tell you what.
That's you calling down the wrath of the gods of baseball upon us tonight.
No, you can't. You cannot pin a fielding error on me. I'm not even on the field. I've had fielding errors pinned on me when I've been 400 feet away from the play. And you know what? I cop that. I'm not taking that up in the box when we're in air conditioning. No. Still 9 outs away. There you go. I'm rolling the fate. As Yoni Hernandez steps in.
Can I just leave now before the angry mob turn up with their flaming pitchforks?
That's all right. 1-0 is the count on Hernandez. Middle infielders at double play depth. Corners are in. Here is the 1-0 from Mulry. And that's there for a called strike 1. I'm just looking over at my other friends in the box here. Should I just now that I found his rabbit's foot that he's afraid of, now that I've found the vampire's garlic, should I just dangle it in front of him? 1-1.
You know who does the commentary rosters here. You ever want to call another baseball game in this ballpark? You'll never work in this town again,
mate. I tell you what. I don't think you got as much pull over me as you think you got, mate. 1-1. Runner on first is Max Brown. As that one has missed from Mulry.
How many shares do you own in the club again? Oh. We'll just dangle that one, shall we?
Oh, mate, I tell you what. You're about as good as 2% milk, I tell you that.
And you're the completely fat-free variety. Right, 2-1 is the count.
All right, back to the baseball. Here's the pitch from Mulry. And that is low. And all of a sudden, 3-1 is the count. None out here. The Tuatara have something brewing. But with one pitch in Canberra's favour could change it. Infielders in the middle infielders are still at double play depth. Mulry doesn't like what he sees. No other changes in the field for the Cavalry as I'm looking around. Here comes Mulry set, checks the runner. Here's the pitch. And that has missed and is ball 4. Robinson calls for time. And now the Tuatara have runners on first and second. None out.
That's fine to say none out. You don't look beyond the current inning. That's the thing. You don't.
Oh
you just don't do it.
I didn't. There was no looking.
Not at this point.
There was no looking at all. There was just laying a factual statement. When you've recorded 18 outs, how many outs are left, Chris?
I don't care.
Okay, we've resorted into grade 3 math here. In the Canberra here on Cavalry Live. As the strains of the locomotion hopefully break the big train Mulry out of the funk. Well, Robinson's back. Johnny Homser steps in. He is 2 for 3. He had a single in the first and scored, and he had the 2-run blast back in the 5th. He steps in to face Mulry. Runners at first and second for Auckland with none out. Fast ball on the inside for a call strike one. We thank you for joining us wherever you are tonight here on Cavalry Live. Friday night baseball in the nation's capital. Brown at second. Hernandez at first. Here's the pitch. Homza swings through and misses and is down 0-2.
Someone's daring you to say the tying run is the runner is on deck.
We will not go that far ahead. I am assuming Tuatara fan.
I don't know.
Love our fans here on Cavalry Live. 0-2 is the count on Homza. Mulry set. Here's the pitch. He hits that. That's high and deep. Perkins back near the warning track, back near the wall, and that is gone. And all of a sudden it is a brand new ball game.
Now, you may not believe in this stuff, Oz, but you won't want me telling the team what you said at the start of the seventh inning, will you?
You know what?
What?
There is no... look, think of me like Han Solo, Chris. There is no such thing as superstition. You make your own luck, my friend. And I tell you what...
What else would you tell me?
Johnny Homza has made his own luck. Down 0-2. Puts the belt-high pitch over the fence. That's not luck. That's skill. 8-7.
And the tying run is in the batter's box. None out.
I thought you were going to say the go-ahead run is on deck.
No, tying run's in the batter's box. Jared Walker, he's 1 for 3 tonight with a single to right field and flyouts to left and centre.
Along the ground, the first baseman, Wilson with a great backhand over to Mulry, who fields the position. And that means that there are 8 outs to go. Okay, we'll stop now.
Okay.
But I must say, fantastic play there from Wilson, deep on the backhand side.
We've had 4 groundouts from the Cavalry tonight. 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, and 3-1.
And E6.
The E6 doesn't count as a groundout. That's an error.
Well, it was a potential groundout.
A potential groundout.
So 108, and that brings in Won Seok Kim. He is 1 for 3. He had a home run back in the 5th. Of Pfeiffer. He has a strikeout and he lined out as well. Here's the pitch from Mulry. And that's there. Owen won the count on Kim. Well done, Chucky Robinson. That was literally a one-hop. Looked like Neil Wagner bowling to Steve Smith. It was that short. 1-1. 8-7 in favour of the Cavalry. Tuatara putting up a 3-spot again already. And Kim, Robbie Perkins is back. Lays out. He's dropped that. I thought he had it. It must have bounced off his glove. Great effort by Perkins, but I think I think that just came off the top of his glove.
So we've had an error, we've had a drop catch, we've had a 3-run home run.
I don't know. I didn't see it, Chris. I'm not sure if it's hit his glove or if
it's got over the top of him.
If it's just gotten over. Well, anyway, it is a double. So 1 out for the Tuatara. Andrew Mark, the right fielder. 1 for 3, and he has an RBI tonight. He was the first run back in the top of the first. One-oh. Kim. Second. Mulry gets the fast ball in there. 1-1. Mark pops up to shallow right. Nathans is underneath it. Swirls around, but takes the catch. And it is 2 out here in the top of the 7th. So this is the thing. The Tuatara have been able to put up big spots. But Canberra have scored in the last 5 innings. That philosophy that you had when the bats weren't working before Christmas, well, they were working, but just not working together.
Together, yeah.
Just hitting in spots. And that's what you need to do. 2 out here. Daniel Lamb Hunt, the DH. He is 0 for 2, but has a walk. He's in to face Mulry. That one misses outside for ball 1. So, after Warwick opened his big mouth, Max Brown got on the error. Yoni Hernandez on the walk, then the 3-run homer to Johnny Homza. Then the great play by Zach Wilson. As here's the 1-0, and that's outside. Then Wonseok Kim with the double as Chris is pandering to his adoring fan club of 3 people.
No, I'm being asked if I wrote one of the comments on the YouTube chat box myself.
Oh, I want to hear. 3-0.
You won't like it very much.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. It's 3-0. I'm just going to bore you to death. So Mulry still not happy with the sign. 2 out. Kim is the runner at second for the Tuatara. Here's the pitch. That's in the dirt. The ball has gotten away. Mulry's got to cover because here comes Kim. No, he stops and thinks about it. And all of a sudden, on a 4-pitch walk and a wild pitch, which advances Kim to third.
It's been a tough night for James Mulry tonight. Last night came out through just 0.1 innings.
Well, I think this will be interesting. Keith Ward's come out. Robinson was looking over. He's made the signal. And this will be the end of the night for Mulry.
Runners at the corners, a tough night for James Mulry. Last night only came out and threw 5 pitches. Tonight he's thrown multiples of that. We'll get some numbers for you shortly. What we might do is see if we can squeeze in an extra break here and come back with a little bit more live action shortly with the Canberra Cavalry leading 8-7 at the Auckland Tuatara with runners at the corners, 2 outs here at MIT Ballpark.
Yeah, Gallo. Oh, this is how we gonna do it.
Behind these doors, people are home. Resting, settling in, laughing. These are more than just hotel rooms. They are spaces for living. It's a home away from home, your own abode.
Wearing the number 5. He is the new pitcher for the Canberra Cavalry. So, on the 4-pitch walk for Daniel Lamb Hunt. The last one was a wild pitch which advanced Wonseok Kim to third. So it is 2 out with the runners at first and third for the Tuatara. The Cavalry hanging on to a 1-run lead right now.
So Mulry goes down in the books for 0.2 innings, 2 hits. At this stage, 3 runs, all of them go in the book as earned. 2 walks and no strikeouts,
and the 3-run bomb.
But out there, still runners at the corners. So that pitching line could change a wee bit for James Mulry. The task here for Reece Neat will be basically get this out. I suspect it'll be his only journey out there tonight. This may well be a crafted matchup. Neat to Noi.
Righty on right.
Noi, well, he's gone K so far this evening.
He is, though, the 8th Tuatara hitter in the box this inning. 2 out. Top of the 7th, Tuatara have brought this back to a 1-run game.
Well, and how often do you see it? A guy goes 3 strikeouts and then suddenly produces.
Won Seok Kim is the runner at 3rd. Daniel Lam Hunt at 1st. Here's the pitch from Neat, and that is outside. Just a bit outside. Once again, critical moment in this game. Here's the pitch. Swings through at the breaking pitch on the outside and misses, but once again, a great, literally, it's like watching an ice skater on dirt. It's just how effortless he moves around. It's just a slide. 1-1. And that's the pitch that says hit me.
It's also the pitch that the umpire says strike 2.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other, mate. 1 and 2. 2 out. 2 on. Here's the pitch from Neat. Swings through and misses. Neat. As Robinson throws over as the ball was in the dirt for the K2 to 3. And Reece Neat does his job and stems the damage, but the Tuatara score 3 here in the top half of the 7th. It is 8-7 Canberra at stretch time here at MIT Ballpark on Cavalry Live.
G'day, mate. Mr. Murray, have you decided on a name?
We're thinking Callum.
This is Callum Murray.
Calamari to the seafood aisle.
Calamari. Why'd they name you that?
I take you.
Calamari.
Let's make it Jack.
Drink it through with Dare Iced Coffee.
Come home to your Jarrah. For your kind of play, your kind of family, your kind of day, and your kind of neighbourhood. We introduce your kind of community for your kind of value. South Jarrah-Bombra.
Follow the boats to the view at the top, the snap of the dawn to the peck of the crop. Across the horizon you jump, skip and hop and never stop.
Behind these doors, people are home. Resting, settling in, laughing.
We are back live here at MIT Ballpark. Chucky Robinson into the box for the Cavalry. Here in the bottom half of the 7th. Robinson is 1 for 2. Also has a walk. Here's the pitch. Called strike 1. Warwick Petherbridge, Chris Coleman joining you. Oh, and 1 the count. All of a sudden, we're back to a 1-run game. Here's the pitch. And that one's missed outside. Robinson pops that up. Blackstone calls Walker off. He's underneath it at second. And just like that, we have one out away. Robbie Perkins. He is 0 for 1, but has drawn 2 walks and scored twice. And I must say, he seems much, not only is he hitting better, he's much more patient in the box this year, drawing a lot more walks. Well, would have an OBP near 400, as that has hit the catch at Noi.
That's nasty. That's nasty.
He's just taking.
He's going to take a few deep breaths there. Don't know what it came off, but it's come off and gone quite some speed. Oh, it's got in between the.
It's right on the shoulder, in between the protective.
Oh, that does hurt.
And I'll tell you what, if there's any player in the batting box that could sympathise, it'd be Robbie
Perkins. Yeah. So Baz Noi, while he puts himself back together, I think they're going to give him a chance to play on. Quick check of scores at other venues. Perth Heat leading Geelong Korea 7-2. That game in the bottom of the 8th. At Melbourne, the Aces, they just keep piling on the pain. They're chasing the Adelaide Giants, and we talked a lot about how this North East Division, there's stuff at play. If Melbourne can win this one, they start to chase down Adelaide. They'll make that Giants side feel very nervous going into the last 6 games. Melbourne leading that one 6 runs to 1.
And of course, at the moment, with the way things standing, a trip across the ditch for the second place team in that division. So you want to avoid that, but Chris, sorry.
The other game up in Brisbane, bottom of the 7th. And it is 4-3 to the Sydney Blue Sox over the Brisbane Bandits, which, let's put the Cavalry hat on for just a moment. That would be a superb result if it can stay that way. But Brisbane, they love nothing better.
Hang on.
They love nothing better than spoiling the party. So we'll keep you posted on that one. But 2 one-run ball games in the North East Conference of the ABL tonight. And an 0-2 count now on Robbie Perkins. Ground ball doesn't get past Hernandez. You've got no right to pick that up.
But, no, the ball's gotten by. But great backing up by Noi. But no, great glove work. But Robbie Perkins, there's a base hit. And that will continue this great streak. Perkins has. His OBP now would be well over 400. He's reached base 3 times tonight. 2 walks and a hit.
OBP for the season for Perkins was 393 coming into tonight, on top of a batting average of 338. So, as you mentioned there, he's 1 for 2 plus 2 walks tonight. So that's 750 for the game tonight. That'll take him well and truly past 400 for OBP.
And one of the only home run for the Blue Sox tonight hit by Michael Krause.
Well, he's got 2 in 2 nights up there. Last night they got 3 runs. Solo home runs to Jack Murphy, Bosman and Michael Krause. The Canberra Cavalry second division team doing quite nicely up there in Brisbane last night. 1-0 the count now on Kyle Perkins. I did say that last night.
Perkins checks, the ball gets by Noi, and Robbie Perkins rounds second and has a look. And I don't know, all of a sudden, with the injury, with Noi being hit, he's just had a couple that have gotten away from him.
He didn't move really very quickly across in front of that. But he's still out there. It'd shake you up, and it doesn't tickle, and it did cannon a long way off him, didn't it? 1-1 the count. Kyle Perkins, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 out, and that's high and inside.
And that is 2 balls and 1 strike on Kyle Perkins.
Spun around, got out of the way of it.
Count is 2-1.
We do it all again tomorrow night here, of course, in Canberra. And again on Sunday night, 7 o'clock start.
Sunday night baseball in here. Unheard of.
Love it.
You do?
Love it. Means that the local baseball players can go play their game Sunday afternoon, go home, have a shower, have a sherbet, come down, watch the game.
and see Chris Kelman after his night off.
Oh, you know.
That's all right. Tomorrow night on Cavalry Live, myself and Alex Mallion will be on the call. 2-1 the count on Kyle Perkins. Robbie is at second. Swings through and misses. got an interesting one for you in a minute.
Mm.
You know, 10 seasons of the new ABL, 10 seasons here in Canberra.
Yep.
I've got a question for you as a man who's been around, I think maybe missed 3 home games or 4 home games in 10 years.
Oh, slightly more than that, but it's still single figures, yeah.
Who is the next Cavalry player to get their number retired? There is only one. That is Brian Grenning.
Brian Grenning's the only one.
So have a think. Don't just have a think. Is it one of the 2 men on the base paths?
Probably. It's probably the one who's out there at second base.
3-2 the count. And that is inside and a walk.
And if it's not, then it'll be the guy who wears number 23. Depends which one retires first. Probably be Kent retires first. It'll probably be Kent, then Robbie.
But the 3 of them, you would think someday the 3 of them, foundation members of this club, as...
Can I say this?
Yes.
I'm not a fan of retiring numbers.
I think like they do in the NFL, like a Ring of Honor. So,
I don't mind that.
You have your name up, you know, but...
You rest a number for a certain number of years. I think retiring your first club great, perhaps. But you know, how many numbers of the Yankees retired now?
20.
Now, eventually, you start running out of numbers. What do? Do you start putting A, B, C, D? Do you start giving players 3-digit numbers? What do you do? Do you have players walking out the back with pi r squared on the back?
I actually do love the so-called hoo-ha this year, because every single-digit number at the New York Yankees has been retired.
Mm-hmm.
And then Adam Ottavino came over from Colorado in free agency, and Ottavino wears 0.
Yep.
So he said, I'll wear 0, and became the first wearer in team history to have 0. And then it was, oh, no, that's not a single number. That's 0. But I do see your point, but I honestly...
There are people who say 0 is not a number.
But the only reason I asked is because, obviously, with the... you know, retirement of Brian Grenning, as we do see a pitching change.
You keep talking. With the retirement. Yeah.
Well, obviously, that might be the path that we head down, but I would honestly love to see it, like maybe, as you said, maybe you rest it for a couple of years, or maybe when a player comes along, you know, who's a local or the next young thing, maybe someone like a Steve Kent, or, you know, or a Robbie Perkins, who takes these kids under their wings, goes... Here you go, mate.
Well, I remember, let's just go to cricket for a moment. Shane Warne wore number 23 for years and years. Michael Clark started his career for Australia wearing number 46.
49.
49, okay. When Warne retired...
He handed it over.
He handed over number 23 to Shane Warne. I like that. I don't mind that. But I just think you retiring too many numbers, it becomes... Oh, God, the Yankees fans are going to kill me for this. Retire too many numbers, it becomes almost meaningless. You just do it with too many. You want it with too many players. Yes, the Yankees have had a lot of great players, but in the end, it becomes it becomes too commonplace.
But in 120 years of baseball,
one every 6 years.
Well, one in less than every 6 is about one in every 5.5. You're going to have some greats.
Yeah, but.
See,
where do you draw the line for a great, an all-time great, a club great?
Okay, well, this is where I kind of draw the line, and this is probably what's going to anger you, coaches. You only literally wear a number because you're required to by the law. You shouldn't even need a number, but that, like, Tommy Lasorda. Why? So no, I'm just stirring you, Chris. I'm just stirring you.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the baseball. 1 out, runners at first and second. They're the Perkins brothers. As the count is 1-0 on Kelvin Melian. And that, I believe...
That's Cabrera. Sorry, should have mentioned that earlier.
And what is Cabrera's first name, Chris?
That's a really good question. It begins with an S, and if you think I can read the handwriting there... You know how I said earlier about the supercomputer? It suddenly decided to go really, really, really slow. He's only playing his second game for Auckland. I've got very little on him. Foul ball off into the crowd.
On the footpath.
Sandro Cabrera. There we go. Because what is written there in front of me does not look like Sandro. Not even close.
And he is pitching to Kelvin Melian. 2-1 is the count. 1 out. Infield is deep for the Tuatara. Robbie Perkins at second, Kyle Perkins at first. Here's the pitch, and that is high for ball 3. And this is a lot of guys, not Cabrera in his second game, but obviously there's a lot of guys in this Tuatara bullpen that haven't seen the work this year. Here's the pitch. As Melian pops it up into shallow centre. Brown waves everybody off. And takes the catch. And that is 2 out. Podolski. He is 1 for 4 on a power bunt.
A power bunt and some very, very speedy running.
Seen some great outfielders in our time here in Canberra from our affiliation with the Padres. Of course, Buddy Reed, Taylor Colway, who was here before Christmas. Here's the pitch from Cabrera. Called strike 1. So once again, 2 out, 2 on. Podolski, the hero from last night. And that's high. One and one is the count on him. Cabrera set, checks the Perkins brothers. That's high. Here comes the snap throw. Round to first, Kyle Perkins beat it back. Walker had to come off the bag. Podolski along the ground to third. And Homza just straight away up and throws. Doesn't even worry about Robbie Perkins with the stop start. So Canberra get 2 on but can't do anything with them. They still lead this game though. 8 runs to 7. We are through 7 innings here on Cavalry Live.
Yeah, Gallo. Oh, this is how we gonna do it. Hi.
If you're about to make university decisions, make sure you stand out from the crowd. UC is ACT's #1 uni for graduate employment and starting salaries. UC has work placements in every degree. UC is designed specifically for Canberra and the region. Run your own race at the University of Canberra. Apply now, get UC qualified and run circles around the rest.
Back here in the top of the 8th. There wasn't a lot of these jerseys were ordered very early.
Yeah, we've got a few players who've turned up in numbers that we're not expecting. So we'll just keep an ear on ground announcer Matt Percy for this.
So it'll be Blackstone, Brown, Hernandez.
Quickly through Koji Takahashi's line. We'll give that as he's now out of the game. He wound up 2.1 innings pitched through 59 pitches, 34 strikes, 2 and 2 the ground outs and fly outs. Gave up 4 hits, 4 runs, all of which were earned, and also 4 walks and 1 strikeout. So it's just been the 2 cavalrymen who've struck out so far this evening. The rest of them, and what's that, through 7 innings. So 2 strikeouts and 19 fly outs or ground outs.
Good times. Kent Blackstone, single, strikeout. He leads off the 8th here for the Tuatara. It is a 1-run game. Excuse I. So Blackstone, Brown, Hernandez. They will lead this inning off for the Tuatara. Oh. And the curve is in there, and I believe that is Shingo Hirata. I won't say why I know that is Shingo Hirata.
Okay. The leg kick is probably a little bit of a giveaway. It's very hard to pick him up under the cap from here. That's check, swing, foul, strike. And when you pick it up before the ground announcer does, that's not a bad effort.
What can I say, Chris? Nothing.
I don't think I've seen Hirata pitch in person. I don't recall.
Yes, you have.
Have I?
Yes, you have. Because you got very cranky at me as here's the 0-2 along the ground. And that is into right field for a base hit.
Oh, that's right. It was the
you got very cranky at me, or very nickname, because of that distinctive leg kick.
Yeah, that's right. I remember now.
For those that
no, let's not go there.
It has something to do with Lipton.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Max Brown, he's the man in for the Tuatara.
Yeah, I was mistaking that my memory of that conversation for Onuki, not for Hirata.
No, it's Hirata. That's how I was able to tell. The leg kick is very distinctive. Does the double pump with the leg.
So another player wearing a different jersey tonight. Normally wears number 34, but these Pride Night jerseys, some of them ordered early in the season. Well, they were all ordered very early in the season, and some of the player numbers not necessarily matching. I think the 34 was actually a 3XL, which would have looked like a tent on Hirata.
None out. Lead-off man aboard again for the Tuatara. Brown. Pitch. Low. Ball one. Max Brown is 0 for 3, but reached on base and scored from an error.
Reece Neat, by the way. Shortest night worker we've seen for a pitcher in the Canberra for quite a while. 4 pitches, 3 strikes, 1 strikeout, 0.1 innings pitched, the rest of them zeros.
Did his job. 1-0. Blackstone leaders away from first. Hirata. And that is inside. And this is what I've always talked about with pitches, Chris, is the difference between your pitching action when you have a clean slate and your pitching action when you have runners on base. Hirata cannot do his high leg kick that he likes. Otherwise, Blackstone would be at third by the time he delivers.
Always fascinates me.
2-0. Here's the pitch. Misses. Tries to bunt Brown.
Sorry, I'll just finish that thought. It always fascinates me that Japanese pitchers, who predominantly are where we see the high leg kick and the leg hold, we do see it from some Korean pitchers as well and some Taiwanese pitchers. They have to effectively learn how to pitch 2 different ways because of the way they do that.
Yes. 2-1 is the count on Brown. Blackstone leads away from first here for the Tuatara. None out. Middle infield at double play depth. Brown tries to bunt again and fouls it off. Count is now even at 2-2. Two and two. Canberra Cavalry holding on to a 1-run lead here in this game. As we've just got something. 2-2. Swings through and misses, and with first base occupied and none out. That is a strikeout for Hirata. Max Brown strikes out. Yoni Hernandez. A strikeout, a flyout, and 2 walks. Has scored twice. We've just got an issue with one of our cameras. I believe they're just, our team is out trying to fix it right now. Here's the first pitch to Hernandez, and that's inside for ball 1. The Tuatara, after twice trailing in this game by 3 runs, Trying to get something going here in the top of the 8th. Here's the pitch. And the big looping curve is in there. Evens the count at 1-1. Blackstone, the runner, leading away from first. He got on with the lead-off single. Here's the 1-1 from Harada. Inside, Robinson throws. Wilson tags and then pirouettes over Blackstone, but the runner is safe. All right. All right, I'm just learning things here. 2-1 is the count. Blackstone leads away again. And the curve inside misses. And it is now 3 balls and 1 strike. Three and 1. Harada set. Here's the pitch to Hernandez. And that is a fastball for a called strike 2. Count is full. Full count on Yoni Hernandez. Kent Blackstone at first. Catch your breath back, mate. It's all good. I got this for a second. You just catch up.
It's amazing how people will find hidden PowerPoints that are vital to your broadcast equipment.
3-2. Swings through and misses him once again with first base occupied. Doesn't matter. And that is a second strikeout for Harada and brings in, well, 3 for 4. 3 runs. 5 RBI 9 for Homza.
2 bombs, isn't it, for him?
Yep.
Left field and right field.
He had a 2-out 1 in the 5th. He had a 2-run blast in the 5th. He had a 3-run blast in the 7th. And he has scored on 3 of his 4 plate appearances. So 3 runs, 5 RBIs, 2 home runs. Not a bad night. Harada checks Blackstone at first. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Blackstone runs. Here comes the throw from Robinson, but it's on the wrong side of the bag.
Good effort from Robinson.
Good recovery, but once again, that throw was an absolute bullet, but it was just to the wrong side of the base for Cam Warner. And 1-0 is the count on Homza.
On the good news, I've got my 10,000 steps for the day now.
Look at you go. With weird things, all things, when people find the PowerPoint under the sink.
Yeah, what does this button do?
1-0. Misses inside, 2-0.
See you, Dinkum.
Didn't you put a piece of paper over that says don't unplug me ever?
We'll add that to the safety procedures for the ballpark later.
2-0 is the count on Johnny Homza, the third baseman for the Tuatara. Kent Blackstone at second. Here's the pitch, and that is on the inside for a called strike 1.
We're starting to get to final results time. Game's over in Geelong. The Geelong Korea side have gone down to the visiting Perth Heat. 7 runs to 2. That takes to Perth to a 20-14 win-loss record. Adelaide are chasing Melbourne, but Melbourne leads 7-5.
As Homza swings through on the big breaking ball and misses, so it evens the count at 2-2, and you hear the crowd. They know how big that is.
If you're paying attention to those Melbourne-Adelaide scores through the course of the night, you'll know that Melbourne were leading that one 6 runs to 1. Well, now it's 7-5. Adelaide putting on 4 in the top of the 8th. Melbourne pulling 1 back in the bottom of the 8th. And the Brisbane-Sydney game is into the 9th. I'll give you some details on that in a second.
I was going to say 2-2. We'll stay here. Here's the pitch to Homza. He swings through and misses. Harada does give up a single to lead off the inning, but then strikes out the next 3 hitters. It is still 8-7 in favour of the Canberra Cavalry here in the middle of 8 on Cavalry Live.
Before we go to the break, Brisbane 4-3 down against Sydney. There's 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. They're down to their last out. They trail by 1. They've got no one on base. We may have a result on that one when we come back.
Have you tried the great game?
I've tried it all. So who are you backing in this game?
With their 3-point shooting.
Guys, relax. I got this.
Don't want to miss a second of the action this season? With Tabs Basketball Live Vision, you can stream games and access exclusive previews for free, anytime, anywhere.
Whoa, don't splash the box.
Yeah, don't splash the box, bro.
Who are you backing this NBA season? Tab. Download the app today.
Hurry up with that thing.
Have you tried the great game?
Yeah, I've tried it all.
Back here at MIT Ballpark for Cavalry Live on Friday Night Baseball here in the nation's capital. Cabrera is still out there for the Tuatara. Here in the bottom half of the 8th, where it will be Cam Warner, Tucker Nathans and Zach Wilson will be the first 3 up for the Cavalry, providing that they stay as per scorecard. I'm just wondering, as Chris Coleman is about to join me, if he's refreshed to see if there is a result in Brisbane.
No, in fact, the graphic I got earlier said there was nobody on. Logan Wade actually runner at first. He's the tying run.
Oh.
There's been 2 out. I'm not sure who's up to bat, but it's a 3-1 count on the batter. So a 1-run ball game here, a 1-run ball game there, and could be season-defining moments happening in both Brisbane and Canberra.
Well, I'll tell you what, great fielding by Krause. I'm just seeing the video now. Kept Wade to a single deep in the right field corner in Brisbane.
Well, Krause has got some serious leg speed.
I was going to say, I thought he has a very good arm.
That too. Well, let's focus on what's going on here.
Let's do that. It is Cam Warner. He's in to face Sandro Cabrera.
Canberra looking for insurance runs.
Called strike 1 on Warner. Warner tonight. He is 2 for 4. Single home run, fly out, fly out. Here is the pitch, and that is inside. Chris Coleman and Warwick Pethybridge with you on Cavalry Live, as Chris is feverishly hitting the refresh button. And Warner off the end of the bat. That's going to drop into centre field for a base hit, as Max Brown tried to come around, but there wasn't just enough to keep it going.
It's all over in Brisbane. Mitch Nelson has lined out to Michael Krause.
And so a big, well, in terms of what Canberra needs, a Canberra win here tonight, if we can hang on, coupled with the Brisbane loss, will give us some breathing room.
It becomes effectively a 2-game break, because Canberra hold the tiebreaker head-to-head against Brisbane.
And so, at the moment, well, one half of the equation for the night has fallen in the Cavalry's favour. Here's Tucker Nathans. He swings through. Nathans 0 for 4. Fly out, strike out, ground out, fly out.
He'll be looking to break that pattern.
As Chris said, started the night with a 300 average before. And that one is low. Ball 1. One and 1. Here's the pitch. Now the count is 1 and 2 on Tucker Nathans. So Cam Warner leads away from first. Warner with another 3-hit night. Here's the pitch. That's going to get down into left field for a base hit, and all of a sudden Canberra have 2 runners on and nobody out.
Well, Nathan's too good a batter. Comes in, as you mentioned, was with a 300 batting average. Too good to go 0 for 5. Does the job. Advances Cam Warner.
Well, I believe
around a second.
I mean, I know we don't have a replay, but if you notice that is just great team hitting from Nathan's. Down 1-2, shortens up on the bat and just literally punches his hands to the ball.
Didn't try to put the skin off it.
No power, just let the speed of the ball do the work for him. And Zach Wilson. Wilson is, well, he is 2 for 4. Ground into the fielder's choice to end the first. Home run double fly out. And he is down 0-1. Checks the runners. Here's the pitch. Fouled back into Snake Gully. Behind the away team dugout here at the Fort. I tell you what, look at the positioning of third base coach Lee Mills.
Yeah. Why bother with the batter's box, with the coaching boxes out there, hey?
Yeah, very surprising. 0-2 quickly on Wilson. Cabrera taking a long time. Gets his sign. Here's the pitch. And that is in the dirt. Great job there by Masnoy to keep that in front. Lee Mills is almost at short mid on. Short mid wicket. How is he not being told to go back? Here's the pitch. And Wilson holds. Says first base umpire Riley Barrington.
Well, Melbourne leading Adelaide 7-5. If they win that, then that'll mean Melbourne and Perth sit one game back from Adelaide in the Southwest Division.
And all of a sudden, it's just a joke. One team is going to be very unlucky to not even get a wild card chance.
Yep.
2-2. And that's going to get down, and that's in the hole in left centre. Here running around to score is Cam Warner, and that will increase the lead. And Zach Wilson with a RBI double sends Tucker Nathans to third and scores Cam Warner, and there is that insurance run that Chris Coleman was talking about. It is now 9-7. And Zach Wilson, 3 for 5 with 2 doubles and a home run.
I think you can say he's had a night. Also been involved in every single ground out for the Cavalry tonight.
Does happen when you're a first baseman.
Especially when there's
I'm sorry I had to.
Especially when there's only 4 of them across the course of the night.
So, Candless. Ball 1. Candless had the home leadoff solo shot in the second to start the Cavalry scoring, but since has had 2 ground outs and a fly out. Here's the 1-0. And that's low. And now I'm just looking over. I can see action in the Tuatara pen. They wouldn't want this to get much further away. Here's the 2-0. And the off speed along the outside. Strike 1 on Candless. Two-1. Candless like that, but just had the wrong line. Count is now even at 2-2. So Tucker Nathans is the runner at third for Canberra. Zach Wilson at second. Nobody out. Here's the 2-2. Candless along the ground as Hernandez chases Wilson back to second before throwing over. And that is the first out. Chucky Robinson.
Oh, I know. I can explain that if you heard just in the background there a young child taking over on the PA. A couple of weeks ago when we were smoked out of business here in Canberra.
Oh, they had the auction, the what did you call it?
The fan experience. We've had a young fan shadowing Sarge, the mascot, and Matt Percy, the ground announcer, through the course of the game, and I suspect Matt Percy's handed over the reins.
Here's the first pitch to Robinson, and that is in the dirt. Robinson is 1 for 3.
I'll give you the tip. It wasn't a cheap experience either. A few $100 for that. Raised, I think all up, I haven't got the exact number. I think all up was about eight and a bit grand across the auction on the night, plus the eBay items and the value of some other goods that are going to be donated to the RFS, the Rural Fire Service.
That is inside. 2-0.
Well, we welcome viewers from around the rest of the league, where the last game going now with Sydney having beaten Brisbane, Melbourne having beaten Adelaide, and Perth having beaten Geelong. Any viewers from those games who've joined us, welcome. You join us with this one ever so slightly favouring the Canberra Cavalry, but not by much. And the Cavs, as you might be able to pick up in the right-hand corner of the screen on the wide shot there, they have scored regularly right across the night. In fact, they've scored in 6 of 8 innings, including this 8th, to lead by 9 runs to 7 here in the bottom of the 8th.
So if you are just joining us, welcome. 2-1 is the count on the catcher, Chucky Robinson. Robinson swings through and misses. Evens the count at 2-2. Canberra with runners at second and third. Tucker Nathans is the runner at third. Zach Wilson at second for the Cavalry. Sandro Cabrera on the mound. Here's the pitch, and that is high. And now the count is full. And I'm just looking down at the Tuatara bench to see where the manager is. Steve Mintz.
He's right there at the gate, isn't he? That's him?
That's him. I'm just looking over because there's been a signal come down.
This will be the last batter, you'd think, then for...
Here's the 3-2. Robinson fouls it back to the screen. Sorry, Chris.
That's all right. I was about to say the last batter, most likely for Sandro Cabrera.
Well, I'd say next you've got Robbie Perkins and then Kyle Perkins. Probably look to a right-hander. Mind you, Tucker Nathans is the only left-handed hitter in this lineup.
You don't see that very often, do you?
I remember there were points where in the last couple of years, we've had 5 or 6 lefties in this lineup. Here's the pitch as Robinson swings through and misses.
Now, is there any movement up in the bullpen? Mintz is not moving.
Oh.
Hang on.
Oh.
You watch the play. I'll tell you if Mintz moves.
I think he might have moved if.
Hang on. No, he's just. I think he's signalling one more. He's pulled a piece of paper out of his pocket. He's scribbling a couple of notes. Now that here we go. This is the conversation. This might just be. I'm just wondering whether they're still warming somebody up and trying to give him.
I'm fairly certain the signal I just saw from the Tuatara pen, they gave the wave down, which usually means
he's ready.
He's ready to go.
I saw that too.
So I don't know. Maybe there's something in Cabrera's pitch arsenal that they like against Robbie Perkins. Maybe there's something they've nowadays with the. Oh no, here he comes now.
Yeah, this was that meeting on the mound was just a delay. That was let's get the guy up in the bullpen who's throwing, just give him a moment to throw another couple of pitches and really get the arm right up to maximum operating speed. Riley Barrington, first base umpire, has gone down there. Steve Mintz has come out onto the mound.
Well, Steve Mintz, literally the second he walked out, made the signal for the righty.
Yeah. Sandro Cabrera looks disappointed. He leaves. But he leaves having loaded up the bases in the 8th. No, he hasn't. Sorry, apologies. Having put runners on second and third in the 8th and also having given up a run. But 2 outs. This game, delicately poised in the Cavalry's favour. We've seen so many strange things in the ABL this season thus far. You'd be crazy to write it off. We'll come back in just a moment. But right now, the home side leading by 2 on Cavalry Live.
Mr. Murray, have you decided on a name?
We're thinking Callum.
This is Callum Murray.
Callum Calamari to the seafood aisle.
Calamari. Why'd they name you that?
I take you. Calamari!
Let's make it Jack.
Drink it through with Dare Iced Coffee.
Yujo Kagata has gotten the call from Steve Mintz. Right-hander. He will face Robbie Perkins.
And I think that's actually Kitagata. It'd have to be. I reckon that's Kitagata, not Kagata. I think we've been.
Well, once again, I think we've been bamboozled by the Auckland lineup pad.
I think we've been given another bum steer.
Get our cameraman at third base to catch the back of his jersey. Come on, mate.
It's not going to do us any good at all because the cameraman at third base.
There it is. Come on, go.
Yeah, it's Kitagata. Yeah, it's Kitagata. Yujo Kitagata.
Robbie Perkins. Perkins is 1 for 2, but does have 2 walks and scored twice.
Yeah, Yujo Kitagata has one job, and only one job, and that is to get this out.
Well, he's been in 11 games, 9.2 innings pitched, 6 hits, 6 runs, only 2 of them earned.
Geez, the errors have really stacked up against him.
Oh, that's okay. So, here comes Perkins, 2 out. Runners at second and third for the Cavalry. And that has missed.
What did you say, 9.2 innings pitched? Yeah, 21 strikeouts.
Yeah.
In 9.2 innings pitched.
Yeah. And
holy Nelly. That's obscene.
Well, mate, if you've got 4 unearned runs, I'm going to say you're going to be doing a lot of the lifting yourself. 1-0 this count on Perkins.
Valid.
Here's the pitch. That's low and inside. Boy mishandles it, but it doesn't get away from him too far.
No, it did enough to just take the pace off that. Dicing with death, but he got away with it.
2-0. 2 balls, no strikes is the count on Robbie Perkins. And that is low as well. And now just looking down at the Tuatara bench, which we can see clearly from our position here. Here's the 3-0. And that is on the outside for a called strike. And Robbie Perkins looks at Ben Nash. He was about to start trotting. Sorry, mate, that one was there.
Last night in this situation, or in a similar situation, there were intentional walks galore.
Anyway, 3-1 is the count on Robbie Perkins. Wilson leads away from second. Nathan's from third. That is outside, ball full. So now the bases are loaded once again.
In comes Kyle Perkins.
And I believe, this is the second time tonight that Kyle Perkins has stepped on deck with the bases loaded. He was the man when he drew the walk that put the Cavalry ahead 5-4.
Yep.
So, second verse, same as the first. We'll take it. Loaded bases. Tucker Nathan's at third. Zach Wilson at second. Robbie Perkins at first. Here's the pitch as Kyle Perkins swings through. And misses for strike 1. Kinagara set. Here's the pitch, and that is in the dirt and well blocked by Noy again.
Tell you what, for a guy who took one flush on the shoulder earlier tonight to just get up and be willing to just put the body behind that, that takes a bit of guts. Because for anyone who wasn't with us earlier tonight, he took one
foul tip from
Perkins,
Robbie Perkins
rather. Yeah, went smacked into the shoulder, got in between the
protective padding.
Yeah, flew off, went 3/4 of the way up the line to first base.
I tell you what though, for how short that ball was, just to manage to keep it in front, as here's the 1-1. And that is right at the belt. To keep that in front. especially with a speedster like Nathan's at third. 1 and 2 is the count. Once again, loaded bases for the Cavalry. They lead this game 9-7. And here is the pitch. And he fouls it off Kyle Perkins and will do it again.
Very quickly for Sandro Cabrera. We've got a pitching line for him now. 1.1 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run earned at this stage. No walks, 1 strikeout, 33 pitches, 19 strikes. And it was 2 groundouts and 1 flyout for Sandro Cabrera.
9-7. Bases loaded, 2 hits, 1 and 2 on Kyle Perkins. Here's the pitch. He's lined that into left field. That's going to get down. The left fielder Kim comes around throwing. 2 runs are going to score for the Cavalry. Robbie Perkins holds up at third. Kyle Perkins has a 2-run 2 RBI double, and the Cavalry now have blown it open and lead 11-7.
Good things come to those who wait, and Cavalry fans at the start of the season, they had an awful lot of waiting to do, but in the last few games they really have started to produce and turn it on for their fans here at MIT Ballpark. And that man Kyle Perkins, well, he's certainly earned his supper this evening.
At the moment, Kyle Perkins just key hits in big situations in the last few weeks for this side, here at home or away. As in steps Kelvin Melian, and that is high for ball 1. So the Tuatara, they came back in the 7th with 3, but now once again Canberra have put a 3 spot on to extend this lead back to 4. It is 11-7. Here is the pitch. And the curveball breaks perfectly. One and 1. Melian to the third baseman, Homza. He's been perfect all night and makes another great throw. And that retires the side, but not before Canberra, with some patient hitters in the box, pour on more damage. They score 3 and now lead this game 11-7 at the end of 8 innings here at MIT Ballpark.
Yeah, Gallo. Oh, this is how we gonna do it.
It's the festive holiday season. Make sure your car is ready to go the distance this summer. Give us a call to book in your pre-holiday safety inspection on 1300 727 320 at MIT Automotive in Fishwick.
Back here for the top of the 9th at MIT Ballpark. Warwick Pethiebridge, Chris Coleman with you here on Cavalry Live. And I'm wondering if Keith Ward maybe had a couple of pitches warming up. Josh Warner into the game.
Well, Wardy's got an interesting situation. Bear in mind the ramifications for the Cavalry from 2 weeks ago, having a series smoked out. Last week only getting 3 and a bit games in before the rain intervened in Brisbane. There are arms in this Cavalry bullpen that haven't thrown in quite some time. So I suspect, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him ring the changes like he was the hunchback of Notre Dame on the bells this evening in this final inning, and runs through another 2 pitches, maybe even 3, gives them 1 out apiece just to get some throwing into the arms here. I think everyone will be on a fairly short leash because Shingo Harada is done for the night after 3 strikeouts.
Gave up a leadoff hit, but then came back with 3 strikeouts and lowers that ERA to 2.35.
Handy.
Better than handy, my friend. So, for the Tuatara here in the top of the 9th, it will be Jared Walker, Won Seok Kim, Andrew Mark. They will be the first 3 men. And you've got to think they've got to get at least 2 on of these 3. Josh Warner. He's been given the call.
Auckland, Tuatara. The first baseman number 3, Jared Walker.
By manager Keith Ward. Top of the 9th. Thank you for joining us wherever you are here on Cavalry Live. We are the last game in town tonight. We'll turn the lights out when we go. Here's the first pitch from Warner. Inside. The first baseman Walker. He is 1 for 4. Swings through and misses.
Now I'm really interested to see what happens here, what Keith Ward does, because there are pitchers for this Cavalry side, as I said before, who haven't thrown in ages. And the postseason's coming up, so I'm just going to keep an eye on the bullpen.
1-1. Right along the inside. And that's what happens as a hitter. Jared Walker up close to the plate, right on the inside line of the batter's box. And when you throw something like that fast on the inside, you've got to get around on it early. If you think for a second, it's past you and that's a strike. And that's what Josh Warner just did. Count is 1 and 2. See how close he is there, Chris? Right on the inside line of the batter's box. Got to get around early. Here's the pitch from Warner. Swings and misses, and Warner gets the first one. So,
Wardy's got the paper in his hands and he's scribbling on it furiously. There'll be at least 1 pitcher up in the pen.
If not,
it'll be a short leash.
I'm just going to start scratching down like you do to me. I'm going to start scratching down how many times you say short leashes in him.
How many is that? 4?
At least 4.
Okay.
That's all right. I see at least 1. He's got the jumper off. So here is Won Seok Kim. And that one misses on the outside. Kim is 2 for 4. He has a home run and a double in this game. Here is the pitch from Josh Warner. Along the ground to the third baseman, Kyle Perkins. That gets through his legs and out to left field.
5-hole. Ice hockey time.
Oh. Do you know what the funny part is?
What?
I was literally going to say that it 5-holed him, but I thought I had to stop. And now the Tuatara have a base runner. And that one just very hard hit ball by Won Seok Kim. Straight through the legs. And they have a runner aboard with 1 out in middle infield in. They're deep. As the first pitch to Andrew Mark is a called strike. Corners in, middle deep, safety's blitz. Sorry, wrong game, that's the weekend. 0-1.
They need more than a field goal.
And now, sorry, did I say 0-1? I meant 0-2 as the curveball drops for strike 2. And now, and that's high from Josh Warner. Get your binoculars out and see who's leaning on the fence down there. I'm wondering if that is actually just, there's a white shirt in amongst all the black jumpers. Here's the 1-2. And he holds. Good hold. Good hold.
Well, Steve Kent's down there.
Is he the one just wearing his, yep.
He's standing up, leaning on the fence. If there's anyone throwing, they're throwing in the left bullpen, which is behind the tent. We can't see.
2-2 is the count.
So I reckon there's nobody at the moment.
Here's the pitch to Mark. He fouls it off and we'll see another one. So once again, 1 out here in the top of the 9th. The Canberra Cavalry lead this game 11-7. 2-2. Here's the count on Andrew Mark. One Seok Kim is the runner at first. Here's the pitch from Warner. Along the ground, this will be a potential double play ball. Malian steps on the bag, throws over. Double play ball game. Canberra wins 11-7. All of a sudden, momentum is shifting, Chris. And we are now halfway through this series. And the Cavalry are gaining. Once again, we keep harping about the numbers, but they must keep winning. Of course, the huge result tonight in Brisbane with the Blue Sox beating the Bandits works in our favour as well. But
it does.
A magnificent win here for your hometown Canberra Cavalry, 11-7 on Pride Night here at MIT Ballpark. We'd like to just take a quick moment once again and
we'll see if we can pick up the player of the game interview via our external microphone and then wrap up from up here in the commentary box. But this Cavalry side really putting together a great team effort.
Just quickly as well, I think we should just quickly thank once again Tom Hathaway from Hathaway's Real Estate just for putting this great night on.
Here we go, player of the game. We'll just see if we can bring this to you. No surprises, Zach Wilson. We'll see if we can pick up any of this interview with Zach and then come back up in the box.
2 games against the top team, 2 wins. What do you reckon the clubhouse is feeling right now? We're going to the playoffs strong. Ladies and gentlemen, hey Zach, do you reckon they should come home or come here tomorrow night? Come here for sure, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here from Zach Wilson. Your player of the game, Mr. Zach Wilson.
There we go, Zach Wilson, the player of the game, and hardly a surprise. He really did have a night, was.
He did, as he's getting tackled by Josh. Oh. So to wrap up, Chris, just again, the Cavalry scoring in 6 of the 8 innings.
Score early, score often, worked out well for them. And an 11-7 victory. So that'll take the well, let's just very quickly reflect on what that does for the standings. That makes the Cavalry have 14 wins plus 2.5 make up, so that becomes 16.5. So now just 2.5 games behind Auckland with 6 to play. 2 to play in this series.
Exactly.
Keep winning.
And you've got
go into next week potentially half a game behind first place in the division. This side's not thinking about a wildcard berth, was. This side's thinking about winning the division and earning a home semi-final. That's what they're thinking about.
I just think, just keep winning. So just
keep winning.
Just be in it. Be in it to win it. Anyway.
Exactly. Magnificent night. The win will go to Phil Pfeiffer. Yet another win. Magnificent performance from him on the mound, barring one tough inning. But 8 strikeouts from his 6 innings, 107 pitches thrown by that man. And for the Cavalry, home runs all over the place. Candless and Robertson going back-to-back in the second. Wilson popping one over the fence into the detailing lot in the third. Then there was another one for Cam Warner in the 6th. So 4 long bombs, plenty of doubles, plenty of hits for the Cavalry. The hits just keep on coming. It has been Pride Night. Thank you very much for your company. Wherever you've been, was a pleasure to share the box with you. I'm having a night off tomorrow night.
I know. Well,
I don't know whether I should be happy or afraid about this.
#AskWaz.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. Cavalry Live will return 5 minutes before first pitch tomorrow night. That is 6:55 p.m. So call it near enough to 7 o'clock. Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Adjust for your local clocks. I'll catch up with you again alongside this bloke on Sunday. But it's Waz and Alex Mallion to bring you the Saturday night game. On behalf of the entire team here at the Canberra Cavalry, this has been Canberra Live. Chris Coleman signing off for Friday night, where the Cavs have won again 11-7.